I don't know what you mean by that. What did I do? What happened? What's the history button? Did something happen? I'm scared. Scared, F1. What happened? Where did you click on my thing that didn't? Okay. Okay. Just give me a second, TikTok. I'm just getting my stream going, bro. I see you in the request. We can talk. I talked to a lot of people, though. A couple of weeks ago, I'm not going to be able to remember you, but yeah. Boom. Boom. Oh, yeah, Salty. Yeah, Salty. Yeah, dude. Thank you. You did see that. You did see him. Okay. That's cool. I appreciate that. All right, guys. Wow. We're here. You did see me debate Ken Hovind, and I just got I just released a highlight of the panel that I was just on. So yeah, check it out. Oh, and then the guy left. I told him to stay. Oh, okay, there he is. What's up, dude? How's it going?
Yo, what's up?
Okay, let me just be on. Give me 1 second here. Oh shoot! Sorry. 1 second. I'm sorry, man.
I gotta ask, do you remember me at all?
No, but it's okay. I mean, I can. Sorry.
It's all good.
I talk to a lot of people, so it's no offense to you, but it's just like, yeah, I'm happy to talk. I just don't remember you.
Because you told me to come the next day. You were like, oh, I gotta go right now, but you gotta come the next.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. I believe you. Yeah, it's just nothing. But anyway, man, how's it going? So what was the? So what was your? What's up? How's it going?
Well, we were talking about mRNA and like Beyond Meat, like alternative sources of creating animal products for people. And
okay,
because I watched you speak about me afterwards with somebody else, and you were like, "Oh, I spoke with this person who was MAGA, like ultra MAGA extreme, but they were for science and all this," and the other person was like, "I don't know." You guys talked about me for like 20 minutes after the fact.
Oh, okay. I mean, was I working out or something? It could be hard to. Whoops. Oh, sorry. Anyway, okay. So what did you want to talk about then?
Well, I mean, we could continue the previous, but I'll hand the baton off to you. I mean,
I don't remember our conversation, so I don't know. What were your thoughts?
Well, I was basically arguing that as a society or as humanity, we should subsidize to the greatest extent possible alternative sources of meat creation. For example, Beyond Meat or whatnot, because so much there's a lot of animal suffering that goes on in the meat industry, and if we can create that taste of steak or pork or whatever without making animals go through that process, that would be a massive net benefit to global sentience, so to say.
Okay. I mean, I agree in general. Like, I mean, the microbial like food production is definitely probably the future for humans in terms of like sustainable food production, I think. So, like cell tissue culture and ways of producing like animal cells that way is probably going to be the best way forward.
Yeah, I agree. And the fact is, like, if you look at factory farms, so much suffering goes on within those vicinities. It's not even, it's insane. It's actually crazy that humans put up with it. So if we could find a way to get the same taste but not have that, um, regardless of health benefits, it would be, in my opinion, like 10 times more ethical.
Okay. Okay, I agree.
That's what we were talking about, but the conversation had to cut short last time. This was like a month ago when we were talking about this.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, I think like in general, yeah, I think that factory farming, how we subsidize it right now is I mean, there's a lot of different ways that we subsidize farming and food production in the country that is basically unsustainable. I think like the farmers in general get a massive subsidy in order to grow like corn, for example, just because we need it in our gas. So it's a way for us to kind of like subsidize like a dead dying technology too, which is kind of frustrating when we need money for new technologies like algae biofuels and stuff like that in order to actually like create new types of fuels. But those technologies just need money in order to get into economy of scale. But unfortunately we never get to that area because of the subsidies go the other direction. They go to oil companies, they go to farmers to grow corn. It's just sad.
Yeah, no, it really is. Um, I look, I feel like we're in agreement on this, so there's not really much of an interesting conversation.
Mm-hmm.
The part that we disagreed with is about TikTok friendly language here, but vaccine mandates.
Okay.
And basically, I was arguing that I was very skeptical of vaccines at the time in 2021, 2022. But, retroactively, I'm going to look back. It's clear that they did far more good than harm. They worked. Okay. Maybe they didn't work perfectly, but they did, they increased the risk of survival. I think we can both agree on that.
The chance of survival.
Yeah, the chance of survival.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That said, it doesn't change my disagreement over the mandates. And that's where we had a disagreement on whether the government should be able to compel people to take the vaccine through, inhibiting their ability to get through day-to-day life without taking the vaccine.
Okay. I mean, government compels people all the time through laws, through stopping at red lights or seatbelt laws or cigarette smoking indoor bans, things like that. I mean, we limit freedom of people to do things when it inhibits other people's freedoms. And public health is always going to win out against that individual's like onus in order to actually do something and provide something to a greater good.
Well, just because we have bad policy when it comes to other things doesn't mean we should have bad policy when it comes to this. Like, just because we made mistakes in the past doesn't mean we should make mistakes now.
Wait, so you don't think that we should have seatbelt laws or smoking bans?
Wait, you're for those things, unironically?
Wait, you're saying right now that you think that there shouldn't be laws mandating seatbelt usage. I just want to make sure that we're on the same page.
Wait, yeah, obviously. Are you for those things?
Yes, of course. You think that? Yes, I am for seatbelt laws. Yes.
Why do you care if somebody wears a seatbelt or not?
Because you losing your life to and making a stupid decision impacts my ability in order as a person in society, because I have to pay for your kid now because they're going to be more of a hindrance to society. They're going to cost us more money. They're going to be less productive. I mean, you think that we should allow like secondhand smoke anywhere in restaurants and stuff? Someone should be able to just like light up right next to you.
If it should be up to the business. If a restaurant wants to allow smoking, it should be up to them. It should not be up to the government to mass ban it.
Okay. And so do you think like, I mean, where does that end? Like, where does that, you don't think that there's any ability for the government to like regulate any type of action?
Yeah, if it affects somebody else. So, like, for example, I believe in John Stuart Mill's philosophy, where it's like your rights end where somebody else's face begins, or the right to your fist ends where
Okay.
somebody else's face begins,
Okay. So do you think that you could spit on me?
No, because that's
Okay.
assaulting somebody else.
Okay. So then why do you think that you could spit measles on me?
Well, I don't necessarily.
Well, okay, then we're agreement. Then you have to do whatever you can to prevent your ability to spit measles in my face then. And that includes vaccination.
So then see, this it takes a genuinely benevolent argument, but it turns it into some authoritarian.
It's not, but no, it's not authoritarian at all. Like we're it's like democratic as democratic as it possibly can be.
What do you mean by democratic in this sense?
Small d democracy. We're voting
Yeah.
together. You're allowing people to be in a space regardless of their medical condition, their genetic predisposition, their age. You're allowing more people to exist and cooperate and produce into the our spaces, into our economies, into our government.
So where would this end? Like, here's the thing: you can justify that in a sense that, and this is the argument the Department of Agriculture uses, where you can basically enact a total authoritarian police state under the auspices of this sort of narrative that anybody who goes outside might inherently pass germs onto somebody else. They might pass on pathogens or whatnot. The end conclusion is you can basically regulate any behavior anywhere.
Nope.
Because
no.
it might somewhere down the line affect somebody else.
No, we're just doing communicable diseases like vaccines and stuff, or just viruses. So it's not. This is the hysteria that happened, and 100% wrong. During the 2020 pandemic, the height of the pandemic, everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, we can't have any mask mandates or anything, regulating anyone because this is how fascism starts. Where now the masks are going to be permanently enabled. We're going to have to show vaccine passports for the rest of our lives. We're never going to be able to get a job." And like none of that was true. Like none of that was true at all. What's up, Afon? So again, we're talking about communicable diseases because viruses ended the lives of hundreds of millions of people in the 1900s, and that's a real thing that did happen. Viruses are real. So this whole kind of like false, like slippery slope argument. I mean, it's a threat. The threat is the virus. Like I'm not pro-vaccine as much as I am anti-virus. Like if monoclonal antibodies were somehow better than vaccines and it was just as effective and just as cheap, then like we would just be doing monoclonal antibodies the entire time. So we're anti-virus. We're not pro-vaccine necessarily. At least I am.
So there was a book by Alan Dershowitz that was actually pretty good. It was called The Case for Vaccine Mandates.
Mm-hmm.
And basically he argued the point you're making. But he argued that it would have to cross a certain threshold where the disease would have to be deadly enough that it would justify some sort of vaccine mandate.
Yeah. You'd agree with that too. You would agree with the vaccine mandate at some point too.
In principle, yeah. For example, if there was a disease that had like a 25 to 50% unalive rate,
Yeah.
we would have to have a mandate at that point because that's
Thank you.
a threat to civilization.
Thank you for saying that. There are a lot of people that argue that no. I've literally like people have come up and been like, no, even if it was 100 million people losing their life or like the half of the country, they would still say no. We couldn't have any type of mandate. So thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. I agree.
Yeah, and Dershowitz said the same thing. He basically, at the beginning of the pandemic, he basically said, "Yeah, I fully support mandates. I fully support vaccine mandates." But by the end, he said, "Well, it looks like this is the common cold. It's not anywhere near the threat level to justify an infringement on people's rights, and we ought to back away from this sort of thing."
But that's not true. So
it becomes a case by case basis.
But we know like that's not true. We know that people were like losing their lives at a 10 times higher rate if they were unvaccinated during the height of the alpha variant, which is when the vaccines were the highest efficacy. So and we know that 300,000 people lost their life to vaccine hesitancy, and another 300,000 lost their life specifically because of bad policies by the Trump administration. So and 1.2 million people lost their life. So I mean, there's like it's not a trivial amount of people. I mean that is a lot of people.
So, question: were the people who lost their lives those who chose not to get the vaccine, or were it people that were just in the vicinity of those who didn't get the vaccine?
A majority of people are going to lose their life that had the vaccine because that's just the majority of people got the vaccine. So that's how the numbers are going to shake out. I mean, the argument that people say erroneously is like, oh, these are just a bunch of old people that were on death's door anyway, which isn't true. We lost tens of millions of life years, basically like the expected life of expectancy versus when people lost their lives. So it's not a trivial thing. I think in the United States alone, I believe that we saved like 3 million lives because of vaccines. So it's very it's tangible, man. We through epidemiology and virology, like we know these numbers. It's very we can look.
Yeah, no, actually, I was trying to actually, to be honest, help your argument, your case against mine here. When I was saying, was it people who refused to get the vaccine who were being unalived by, the virus, as opposed to those who were in the vicinity? The reason why is because if it was exclusively those who refused to get the vaccine who were being unalived, I would argue, well, what's the issue? Like in that case, it's natural selection. Even though I
would say that's still, I still wouldn't agree with that because I mean, I do talk about that. I do say like Republican lives matter, just because they are being exploited and they're being fed disinformation doesn't mean that them losing their life doesn't impact me. Just like how it still impacts me if someone's losing their life for a seatbelt law that's not wearing their seatbelt. I still am impacted by that. That still matters to me. So I mean, I'm a patriot, so I care about Americans losing their life. So but 300,000 people out of 1.2 million. So I mean, simple math means about like 25% of people, lost their life from that. Anti-fascist frog, what's up, man? How's it going? True American, a legend in the chat, everyone.
Yeah, I'm a patriot and I'm a Republican, but because I'm such a patriot, I want to defend the freedom of other Republicans. I don't care if they lose their life because of their own choices. As I said, I'm anti-mandate. I'm anti-vaccine mandate, right? I'm not anti-vaccine. I actually do think the vaccines save lives, but it's precisely because of the fact that they save lives, and it's such an individual matter that I want it to be in such a way where it comes down to individual choice, just like seatbelts. Like it's my own people who are being hurt by this.
I know.
If you look at death count.
I don't agree with you. I would say that just because someone's being exploited and they are being taken advantage of doesn't mean that their lives don't matter. I mean, I think that's grotesque.
Well, no, I'd say it's disgusting to force your viewpoint on somebody else. Like, humans deserve to control their own destiny.
We are, and that is exactly what we're allowing. By vaccinating people, we're allowing people that have immune compromised systems from cancer medications, from genetic predispositions, age, all those type of stuff. We're giving those people the liberty and freedom to give and live throughout their life. Like, imagine a scenario where we said, no, we're never going to have public health. And if you have, genetically, you just get, cancer, you're just going to lose your life. And we could do things as a society to prevent it, but we're just choosing not to. Would you really feel liberated or free in that society? Or if we said, oh, you're past 60 years old, your immune system's starting to wane, we're just going to do nothing in order to try to help you live the best life that we can give you. Like, people wouldn't be like, wow, I can choose to do anything that I want in my society. It's the opposite. You'd feel very constrained, like nobody else is looking out for you, and you wouldn't have the freedom in order to choose your path.
Yeah, individuals should have the right to do whatever they want with their own bodies.
No, they shouldn't. And that you said the same thing, that you didn't agree with that before. You said that people should be able to do what they want until it affects other people. And that's what I'm saying. The person that is removing freedom in a scenario is the anti-vax person that's going into a vaccinated room with measles. They are removing the freedom for people in that room to live and be in a room without measles. They are choosing for the other people that measles is going to be there. Therefore, vaccines give freedom.
What about the seatbelt analogy then?
Well, I mean, the problem with the seatbelt analogy is that it's not a communicable disease and it's not killing hundreds of millions of people in the 19th and the 20th century. But I think it's an analogy. I mean, like, a better one might be like, or another one be like, I don't believe in red lights. And you're like, how do you not believe in red lights? And it's like, because I don't want to sit at red lights. I'm not going to sit at red lights. And it's like, okay, well, the red lights are going to be important. We all have to exist and all have to pass through. And you're like, well, if you just stop at every red light, that's the only way that you're going to get. If the only way you're going to get injured is if you go, through the intersection. Therefore, just stay stopped, right? And this is the common retort that a lot of people say is like, oh, no, just stay home, bro. Just stay home. It's like, okay, so then at every intersection, just don't pass through the intersection. How easy is that?
The reason I mentioned the seatbelt thing is because you said you support seatbelt laws, which means, and seatbelt laws do only affect the individual wearing the seatbelt.
No, they don't. We just talked about that. Like, it affects everyone in our society when we have people losing their life from preventable, the ways of, it impacts everyone.
Because, the kids and the wife might be on welfare after the fact.
Social assistance, productivity, attainment, recidivism, all different ways.
So these arguments basically boil down to the idea that an individual is property of the state. Like, you cannot self-destruct because therefore it might be costly on the state.
Well, I mean, I think that the state has, like, I believe, like, in the death penalty, I'm not a pacifist. I think that at some point, like, a government does have the power, like, over, like some, people in some ways. I mean, and that's why I believe in democracy, right? Because that is a huge thing to do. So we have to be accountable, transparent, democratic. I think that those are the big things. So yeah, like again, like, and you aren't either. You believe in a scenario where if the entire society is going to collapse, the government is going to have to step in order to save the society from itself.
Yeah, I agree, and this is what I said. The John Stuart Mill argument is that the government has the right to intervene when one's actions interfere with another person's individual rights.
Mm-hmm.
And you agree with that principle?
Yes. Yes, I agree.
So I think it's a huge stretch to say that an individual speeding down the street, not wearing his seatbelt, is in any way an infringement on other people. It's such an indirect correlation between him not wearing the seatbelt and maybe getting in a crash and that affecting other people.
I mean, it's the analogy fails because it's like not a, I mean, it doesn't, if it was spreading other seatbelts, people not wearing their seatbelts now in order to, like, you know, causing them not to wear their seatbelts, that's what it would be. It'd basically be, the analogy would be every single person that's around you, if you're not wearing your seatbelt, it removes the seatbelts of people around you that are driving down the highway. I wouldn't be okay with that because I want to wear my seatbelt. But if you're wearing your seatbelt, now you're going to choose that I can't wear my seatbelt either? Like, that's not fair.
Yeah, but that's not the case with seatbelts. Like, you
That,
can
but
wear
that
your
is the case
seatbelt.
with viruses because they're communicable and they can spread through our society. So, I mean, if we're going to talk about the analogy, we can make it a direct one-to-one, and that's what it would be.
No, I know, and this is why I'm saying I fully understand the argument when it comes to vaccine. And Alan Dershowitz talked about this in his book, The Case for Vaccine Mandates. Made a very compelling argument, but the fact is, you were the one who brought it up. You brought up you brought up seatbelts, and that kind of demonstrates that you don't really believe in the John Stuart Mill harm principle. You believe in authoritarianism for its own sake. You defended seatbelt laws. You brought it up on your own, not me.
Yeah, I'm saying that we have the ability to regulate people to do things in our society. Yes, absolutely.
But you don't support it in principle. You just brought it up as an example?
No, I do because does impact other people.
Okay, not to keep beating a dead horse here, but how does it impact other people directly?
Like I said, if everyone in our society, if the amount of people, imagine a scenario where the amount of people that lost their life in 2 years was 1.2 million people. Like you don't think that as a society we should have like a law, like we undo seatbelt laws, and now 1.2 million people lose their life over 2 years from seatbelt related preventable issues, accidents and that kind of stuff. You don't think that the government at some point would be like, wow, that we actually have something that's easy, that's cheap, that's super effective in order to help the scenario, but I guess we can't stop the 1.2 million people from losing their lives. You don't think that the government should step in there?
Well, why is it the government's issue? I mean, you can make an economic argument that those people who were unalived were paying taxes and therefore, foregone tax revenue or whatnot. But I don't even know if that's true because I can't, like, I'd have to do a study to demonstrate that. It wouldn't surprise me, to be honest, if the average person who was unalived through not wearing a seatbelt was a net tax drainer, not a taxpayer. Like somebody who was in the bottom quartile. It wouldn't surprise me. I'd have to do a study. Again, I don't have the evidence or proof in front of me, but it wouldn't surprise me. In that case, it would actually be a net benefit to society to not have those laws for that reason.
Dude, that's like per person for 1 year. But the idea that like you'd be okay with just habitually losing a third of a percent of the population every year to preventable like scenarios. I mean, this is a society that is unstable, that would not exist.
Well, no, it's the idea. For example, I don't even have to say an example. Let's be real. If somebody's not going to wear a seatbelt, they're probably on the lower end of the IQ spectrum in general. Would you agree?
I don't know. What would you consider yourself?
I wear a seatbelt.
Why?
But because I don't want to be unalived if I get in a crash.
Why?
Because I enjoy living. I want to live.
Okay. Okay, so then, okay, go ahead. Keep continuing your point.
I think that the average person who would be unalived by not wearing a seatbelt would probably be lower IQ when it comes to the average. It's speculation, it's conjecture, right?
Okay.
So perhaps from a government point of view, it might actually be good to not have those laws because those people are probably net tax drainers as opposed to taxpayers. Like, for example, if it was a bunch of CEOs and doctors and lawyers who were being unalived by it, yeah, I would totally agree with your point. But it might actually be the people the government is subsidizing anyway
who gets to decide the deciding line? Where you are, like, what's the tax like line or the IQ line in your world? How do you prove to be beneficial to society?
I would argue you'd have to calculate it. It would be a bit more complex than this, but basically, if you take more in subsidies than you pay in taxes, you're a parasite, and that includes, your use of infrastructure.
Okay, so in your society, all right, your libertarian, anarcho-capitalist utopia, you are deciding for other people. You are deciding, right? Because you're making the decision whether or not someone is useless or not. Like you are deciding that thing.
Well, it would be up to the market in my ideal society. We'd privatize everything, and the market would decide if they're worthy or not.
How do you realize that a vaccine is a 11-to-1 economic driver? Every dollar spent in vaccines that we get $11 back in economic driver. It's one of the most highest ROI decisions that we can subsidize. Do you realize that?
Yeah, and as I said, I'm not against vaccines.
But we as a government invest into things in order to increase and spur economic development and economic growth. So don't you think at some point we would want to incentivize vaccines in order to have that happen? What do you think? I don't think that people should be strapped down and just pumped full of vaccines. I think that we should give people, basically tie their tax credit to their vaccination status. So if they don't get vaccinated as a kid, then their parents don't receive their child tax credit.
Yeah, no, I actually would be I would be okay with that as well. Again, I'm not anti-vax. I'm anti-vaccine mandate.
Okay, but that is a vaccine mandate. That is a vaccine mandate. We were just talking about that. And you're a Republican, and you realize all I'm trying to do. So you agreed with my how I would do it, and now you realize that all I'm trying to do is advocate for policies of Mississippi. That's it. I want to mirror the social welfare, public health programs of Mississippi. That's it.
Yeah, sure. No, I would be okay with that.
Okay,
yes.
so okay, so Mississippi, okay, if you're okay with that, thank you. Which is, by the way, they have no personal exemption and no religious exemption up until 2 years ago. So you would be okay with that?
Yes.
Okay, so then you agree with me, bro. I don't know what to then why through those incentives, Mississippi had over 99% vaccination rate of children.
Yeah, again, as I said, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. So I don't know who you think you're arguing against, but I'm not.
But you just said that I'm an authoritarian and you just agreed with all of my principles, like how to actually get people to do this, and you agreed that mirroring Mississippi's public health laws is a good way of doing this. And yet would you say that I'm an authoritarian now?
Well, because of the seatbelt stuff. I agree.
Oh
As I
my
explained,
God.
I'm fine with the vaccine stuff. It was the seatbelt stuff I had an issue with, because seatbelts, I think you'd have to make a much more compelling case to argue that not wearing a seatbelt harms other people.
Okay.
I
You know what? I would agree with you. I would agree with you there. If I, okay, I'll take it. I'll trade you. No seatbelt laws for Mississippi, like public health mandates and childhood tax incentives tied to vaccination rates. I would make that compromise with you.
Yeah, I would agree with that too. Because by not getting vaccinated, you might be harming other people.
Perfect.
But
okay.
by not wearing a seatbelt, I'm not harming anyone. So yeah,
that's there it is. We just, ladies and gentlemen, we just fixed society. That's beautiful. All right. Thanks for coming up, bro. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you for having me out.
Have a good one, man.
You too.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you had a good time. That was an interesting conversation. Cool. Yeah. Why am I ignoring vaccine side effects? Like, why are you ignoring the side effects of viruses? So in order to unlock, this is a video game. In order to unlock this, the me talking about vaccine side effects, you have to tell me the side effects of the measles virus. Like you're a little Deku scrub, you know. You're like your little baby Link with a wooden sword, all right? And you haven't leveled up to be capable of having that discussion yet. So that's what's happening. You know, I think it's cool that you want to cosplay, but you can't just walk into the water temple right now, all right? You can't face Ganondorf, right? You got to level up. You got to get your Hyrule Greatsword. You got to become Teen Link. You know, you got to level up, bro. You can't just go straight into facing the end boss right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Ness, how's it going? Oh, nice. Bear, I tried an ultra low latency mode in order to sync up TikTok and YouTube. So hopefully that links. Aw, see, there you go. He can't. Jelly is in YouTube chat crashing out. Everyone, make sure you're joining. He couldn't actually. He couldn't unlock it, so he's mad. So he's calling me an absolute loser fraud. So predictable. Oh, you guys are so predictable. Shut up, Matt. Thanks for being in YouTube chat, bro. I appreciate you. I believe, but cannot prove, I had COVID 4 months before the lockdown. There was no vaccine. There was no test. All the PPE was sequestered by the hospitals. Yeah, shut up. I mean, there was SARS-CoV-2 didn't exist before the lockdown. I mean, the outbreak happened in the wet market in December 2019. So I mean, the lockdowns were so far into the pandemic that I forget what actual month the actual like 2 weeks to stop the spread happened. But you could have like lived in Seattle, for example, and actually gotten sick. So it definitely could have happened. All right, guys. All right, guys. His whole argument came with the assumption that vaccines have zero negative effects. Jelly, again, in order to unlock that version of the argument. There you go. Jelly, in order to unlock that version of the argument, you need to level up. You need to recite 3 negative side effects of measles. And we will talk about that. You're dodging, and you don't understand viruses exist, and they're dangerous. So why would I talk to you about vaccine side effects? Actually, I will tell you that vaccines do have a side effect. I'll let you know. They do have side effects. We're finding out that they have side effects like heart protection. The cardiovascular health is helped dramatically from having a vaccine. So it's an amazing thing. Yeah. Those are actually the unintended side effects of the SARS-CoV-2 vaccine. Okay, nice, Ness. Yeah, let me know if it's actually syncs up, because I am actually trying an ultra low latency mode on YouTube in order to try to have it work a little bit better for you guys. So if you want to have it on like your TV and your phone, that would be dope. What are your thoughts on AI, its impact on the field and scientists? Yeah, so I think, man, it's AI. I'm more bullish than most, just because AI is something that science has been using for like over 10 years now. But I think that we can mitigate a lot of the dangers of AI by also like harnessing it and using it. I really do think so. But again, I'm a scientist, so I'm a little bit more technology optimist than most, I would say. Engineers and scientists tend to have to imagine a fix to a problem or a better world. Otherwise, why would we do the things that we do? So I am more pro-technology in that. I can understand the skepticism. I can understand the exploitation arguments. I can understand how artists like feel phased out. And like, for example, in the nonprofit world, for Science and Freedom for Everyone, which is the nonprofit that we are creating from this stream, like we're going to be using, we're going to be using artists in order to design our merch and that kind of thing. So yeah, absolutely. I think that's like really important. Harry, you say that all the time. Okay, Ness. Oh, it's much better. Good, Ness. Good. That's good. Good idea. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to react to another Obama speech. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been called out, okay? We've been called out. The title of this video is named, "We Challenge All Evolutionists to Watch This Video." I happen to be an evolutionist myself. I have evolved. As a Homo sapien myself, I am the product of evolution. So this feels very at home to me. But let's see what they have to say. I'm sure it's going to be. It's from Answers in Genesis. A really solid publication. Very astute. There's going to be lots of references, lots of studies, lots of science going on, right? Surely, guys, right? It's not just going to be Bible quotes. Surely. I actually don't know. I didn't watch this, so let's see what it is.
Imagine walking out onto your front porch to get the newspaper one morning and getting the shock of your life.
Oh my gosh.
After looking over at your neighbor, Sam, who's sitting and reading his own copy over a cup of coffee, you notice a robot carrying a package down the street.
What the biscuits?
Astounded, you observe that after it drops off the parcel on someone's doorstep and walks away, several more robots appear, marching along, performing the same task.
Okay.
So, after rubbing your eyes in disbelief, you whisper shout to your friend. Hey,
Whisper
Sam,
shout.
where did all these robots come from? Who do you think made them? To which he glances at you over the top of his glasses with a slightly bored look and says, well, I don't think anyone made them. I think they made themselves.
This did not age well. This is 2 years ago. This is not didn't age well. You know, I love this thing of this idea, because it's like, this is the watchmaker's fallacy, right? Where you go and you find on the beach, you know, a watch, and you're like, why? How did this watch get made? Kind of thing. Of course, like, religion creates, you know, how was God created? Oh, God just created himself. You know what I mean? So at least evolution creates a mechanism that can explain how things are made, right? Guys, and please never wear two jackets. What is this guy wearing? Like, holy moly. Like, what is, it's a wool vest underneath a wool jacket? Is this guy, like, how cold is this guy? And then on top of this, like, a wool tie? Like, genuinely, dude. Like, what is this? No vest has that kind of lapel. I don't know, dude. That's really weird. That's a really weird vest, man. I'm not down. Very, very weird. Very, very weird. Anyway, okay. But we'll see. That outfit wasn't intelligently designed for sure. Exactly, dude. And it's like matches in a clashing pattern with his vest. Dude looks really bad. And his shirt is way too hot, way too large, dude. What is his neck? His neck is like 2 inches too big. Like, it's like it's off his neck in the back and the front there. I mean, yeah, I don't know, man.
Selves.
An overcoat over a suit jacket is common in cold climate for sure, Afon. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, if he has to be, it has to be. It has to be. But why would you wear your overcoat? I don't know. Anyway. I don't know. Oh, for sure, dude. Yeah, for sure. Oh, guys. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. These are right now on the screen. These are gel electrophoresis bands. So this is DNA that is like different weights, and they're cut at different lengths, and the bigger and the longer DNA lengths are at a higher length. So as it goes down the gel, the higher weighted bands are at the top, and the intensity actually correlates with how much DNA is there. So yeah, it's actually that is what molecular biology does. That's what we do. Oh my gosh, there's DNA right there, guys. That's incredible. I think I actually have this exact same free B-roll that I use on my shorts. That's that exact same one. I don't know if it's Paige. Paige. I don't know if it's Paige. Probably not. It would have to be SDS Paige. But I think that was just standard DNA gel electrophoresis. Micro machines inside living things. Oh gosh, no way, dude. Are they seriously going to go into cell biology right now and try to explain that they know better than science based off on cell biology? Like cell biology, really?
Now, does this scenario have any correlation to a situation we could relate to in real life? Well, yes, it does. Our neighbor Sam is analogous to the materialistic worldview being taught today through...
Dude, the music is so loud. What is this editing, bro? Like, what is going on?
The state-run education and media platforms.
The state-run education.
The story of evolution, presented as science and fact. This materialistic ideology explains everything
this, dude? What is this? What this guy has this what is this? This hand like magnifying glass with a bunny suit. What is he doing? What is this? It's like a cosplay one where it's like it has like cracks in the screen. Like what are they doing?
Through a naturalistic lens, no matter how intricate.
This is definitely how science works, guys. This is exactly what it is. Is it going to change in front of our eyes? Oh, he has. We're counting the years. We're counting the years.
Closely engineered something appears to be.
Oh.
The foregone conclusion, always tried to, is that whatever's being discussed was somehow produced by nature.
Oh. Imagine a mechanism that can explain the occurrence of things and not just instantly appear out of nothing. Ugh, imagine that.
No appeal to design allowed.
Oh my gosh, they actually have Campbell's biology book right here on the fake that little table right there. Campbell's biology. That is like the standard biology textbook that everyone has in anything.
I.e., everything makes itself.
Everything makes itself. Not really. Not really. I mean, that's everything makes itself. That's kind of that's what God did. But evolution isn't just everything makes itself. Bacteria can clonally propagate, but you can't just as a human like, oh, I'm just gonna make more of myself. Yeah, and it just isn't true. It's not true.
The robots referred to in our story are represented by
my gosh. I hate that they're using these videos of like cell biology. Like it's so offensive because like the Bible, which is the only way that God tells us anything, right? God is a author of all things. Jesus could have been a TikTok streamer. Jesus could have been a YouTube streamer. Because obviously God knew that it was possible for these things to exist. He had to have known the possibilities that humans were capable of. So he's purposefully an author. And there's no scientific basis or anything of value inside the Bible in regards to this. And it's so facile to think like the ability for a story, a nuanced argument, think about like some type of story where it's like a double helix staircase or something like that. Some way that like some weaving pattern of two sisters that always match with one another, which is like alluding to the ACTs and Gs and the base pairing, or the structure of the DNA, or like anything. Like how can DNA, the existence of DNA, not make it into your book, bro? Like that doesn't make any sense. It's almost like the existence of these things only exists in our mind because we abandoned theology as the only way to understand the world and started building our own bodies of evidence and knowledge through experimentation and reproducibility. It's almost like we had to go away from these old tales in order to better understand the world. I'm just saying, just asking questions.
Incredible motor protein, kinesin, that's found inside the cells of all living things. And as amazing as it sounds, they're very much like tiny biological robots walking around inside all your cells at this very moment.
Tiny biological robots. Like why does everything have to be a robot? Why are they trying to like parse everything?
And most of you likely never even knew that was happening before now. To understand the world in which kinesin operate, imagine the scenario depicted in Isaac Asimov's classic 1966 sci-fi film, Fantastic Voyage. In it, a group of scientists were shrunk in a submarine and injected inside someone's body to perform microsurgery on him before reverting to normal size. Now, of course, we haven't been able to shrink ourselves yet. But advances
Yet.
in biochemistry have allowed us to take many fantastic voyages
Oh no, are they going to talk about nanotechnology here? Are they going to talk about it? Don't do it. Please don't do it.
inside cells through the use of electron microscopes. And what we've discovered through them is truly fantastic.
But why would you need to use microscopy in order to examine a cell if you have the word of God? Right? That's what I don't understand. Like, it should be apparent within biology, all the answers that you should have already. Like, why would you need to use the microscope in order to understand anything? You're using independent routes of understanding the natural world, which wasn't based on the Bible. It's what Neil deGrasse Tyson calls like God of the gaps. Like, basically, God only exists in the gaps of scientific knowledge that we have, and so God just creates an ever shrinking idea and usefulness in our society and in our mind. Like, I do think that humans needed religion at some point and we used it. The point is that religion is a product of evolution. More religious people are going to look out after one another. They're going to share resources more. They're going to huddle more. They're going to, form bonds outside of their family structure. They're going to, communities are going to form. So, we have a hyperactive frontal lobe. So we are trying to better, connect ideas together. So, we humans needed, quotes, evolution at some point, evolutionarily, and that's why it exists. But now humans have kind of evolved past the needing of evolution. But now humans have kind of evolved past the need of religion, right? We have science to better understand this world that we exist in. Like, we don't need religion anymore, I think.
Electron microscopy is a technique for obtaining high-resolution images of biological specimens by using a beam of accelerated electrons as a source of illumination. And what's discovered inside the simplest of living things is astounding indeed. As PhD
not just any god, their preferred god or their preferred denomination of their preferred book. Yeah, exactly, Law. It's like it's so funny because it's like 3,000 different gods that have existed over human civilization, and they are, as Hitchens said, like they are, they are atheists about Zeus. They're atheists about the Druidic religions that they vanquished during the Crusades, right? So, it's just that they get mad when we go one god further. And what is this guy's eyebrows, bro? This guy on the right, his eyebrow hair is literally going into his eyes. It's curling down past into his eyes, dude. I would not trust this guy on anything. Guys, if you can't properly groom yourself, it's really hard for me to take you seriously. You got to take a shower. You got to groom yourself. You got to, look, you got to put some time into it a little bit. Come on, man. What's going on here? But here, the senior fellow at what?
Geneticist Michael Denton described. To grasp the reality of life as it has been revealed by molecular biology, we must magnify a cell 1,000 million times until it's 20 kilometers in diameter and resembles a giant airship large enough to cover a great city like London or New York. What we would then see would be an object of unparalleled complexity and adaptive design. On the surface of the cell, we would see millions of openings like the portholes of a vast spaceship, opening and closing to allow a continual stream of materials to flow in and out. If we were to enter one of these openings, we would find ourselves in a world of supreme technology and bewildering complexity.
I'm so confused. Apparently he's gotten his MD since this time. He's an MD PhD now. Michael Denton, and he wasn't a geneticist. Now he's a molecular biologist, which, I mean, they're very related. Wow. Okay. How would they not know that? Why wouldn't they put that on the thing that is a PhD if he's an MD PhD? Yeah, this is the same book. Weird. New develops in science are challenging orthodox Darwinism. 1986. All right. The tiniest bacteria cells are incredibly small, weighing less than 10. I don't even know what measurement that is. Which is in effect a miniaturized factory. A miniaturized factory containing thousands of exquisitely designed pieces of intricate molecular machinery made up of altogether of 100,000 million atoms, far more complicated than any machine built by man. Yeah, I mean, we had 3 billion years of evolution in order to create that. The size, structure, and competent design of the protein synthetic machinery is practically the same in all living cells. I mean, that's true in the fact that, like, that's the 50% of DNA that we share with bananas, for example, right? No living system can be thought of as being primitive or ancestral with respect to any other system. Also true, all living things are as evolved as the other thing. Nor is there any of the slightest empirical hint of an evolutionary sequence among all the incredible diverse cells on Earth. I mean, definitely have like something. I mean, there wasn't any like eukaryotes before there was a prokaryote. You know what I mean? We definitely know that.
Now, part of that bewildering complexity is our topic of the conversation,
Great.
kinesin. Kinesin proteins aren't living things. Rather, they're a family of miniature motor proteins inside living things that transport cargo around inside cells and are remarkably humanoid in appearance.
They're not humanoid. Oh my gosh, dude. Why do we always do this as humans? Why does everything have to be like, what's it called? Anthropomorphized? Where everything is like humans. I blows my mind. I don't get it. Like what's the I don't get it. I'm just wanted to look up the Bible verse that talked about this like exquisitely designed thing that we can't understand. Trying to understand I can't find it, guys. Can't. Interesting. Maybe they'll figure it out. Maybe that doesn't look like it's from the Bible. Yeah. Kinesin. Kinesin is a protein complex belonging to a class of motor proteins found in eukaryotic cells. Kinesins move along microtubule filaments and are powered by the hydrolysis of ATP. The active movement of kinesins supports several cellular functions, including mitosis, meiosis, and transport of cellular cargo, such as axonal transport and intraflagellar transport. Most kinesins walk towards the plus end of a microtubule, which in most cells entails transporting cargo such as a protein and membrane components from the center of the cell towards the periphery. This form of transport is known as anti-retrograde transport. In contrast, dynesins are motor proteins that move toward the minus end of a microtubule in retrograde transport. That's cool. That's really cool.
Having two legs that allow them to walk along roadways inside cells.
It's not two legs. It's not two legs. Like, why is he saying that?
Cells and two arms that allow them to carry packages.
It's not two arms. It's not two arms. Like, does everything, like anything that's a pair of two, is a two branches, or is that two legs? Are like F on it is. I know it's so absurd to me how religion could claim this. as this is they're explaining this, to us. It's so offensive.
They're like the postal delivery people, but on a mind-bogglingly microscopic scale. At only
It's not mind-boggling how small it is. It's not mind-boggling, guys. Like, it's not. Like, literally, it's a protein. It's not mind-boggling. Look at the size of it. Like, we know the structure of these things. We can look at the kinesin motor protein. We can look up Interpro. This is like the protein, classification of protein families. Like we know a lot about them. How the size of what they're connected are, how connected they are to other proteins, like what they're the C. elegans ones. How are they looking? Arabidopsis. What are those? Like we have tons of different types, and we just Drosophila melanogaster. That's the fly that everyone uses. Like this isn't something that we're like, oh my, we have no idea how this works. What? Like no, dude. Like we understand. Like this is a family that we understand. We got it. We got it. Actually, it's okay. It's good. But I understand the explanation isn't appropriate, but they are trying to explain it to lay people. Sure. Yeah, I mean, I think that the problem is that they're bastardizing it on purpose in order to make it seem like the term is irreducibly complex. They're trying to lay seed into the understanding of how this thing is so complex that we couldn't possibly know it, and that's the frustration. We can kind of see what it is.
7 billionths of a meter long, they consist of, utilize, and synchronize with an incredibly complex array of microbiotechnology that rivals the most sophisticated feats of engineering that humans have ever.
Okay, so microbiotechnology, again, it's not microbiotechnology. It's just microbiology. Biotechnology are the things that we make and the tools we make and the medicines that we make from our understanding of natural processes. He's just word salading this stuff and trying to use big words together without actually understanding what they mean. And like for example, CRISPR is a bacteria self-defense mechanism, but it's not a biotechnology until we use CRISPR in order to be used as a gene therapy tool, or we use CRISPR in order to change the DNA of someone that's sick. Now it's a technology, right? Because we've used it and changed it a little bit in order to do a specific purpose, and then now it's a technology. That's the difference. So he's just word salading stuff, trying to sound smart here, but he doesn't actually get it.
That rivals the most sophisticated feats of engineering that humans have ever achieved. Now, there are many different types of kinesin and kinesin-related proteins, each with different specifications and functions that have been discovered in various organisms from yeast to humans. But the following example is a very basic scientific description of what a typical kinesin does and why it does it. Inside life forms, proteins and other needed parts must be delivered to specific places within the cell at precise times. Now, if the needed part is a protein, for example, a manufacturing plant called a ribosome receives blueprints for the part from the nucleus. The information is stored in the nucleus on a strand of DNA, but the blueprint is sent in the form of an RNA copy of that section of the DNA. Now, this is obviously a complex coordinated effort, as something must first access the creature's DNA library, unzip it at the exact location needed to copy the specific information required for whatever part is to be manufactured, create a copy of the information for the part, and deliver it to the factory. Afterwards, another organelle in the cell, called the
They did not explain transcription there at all. What are they doing? What was that? What was the animation? They made DNA and RNA completely separate, and then they didn't actually show transcription. They could have shown the Okazaki fragments, that actually, are, explaining this a little bit better.
apparatus, packages the needed part and wraps it in a bag called a vesicle, then imprints the address where the part is to be delivered onto the outside of the parcel. Then a kinesin is summoned, and as mentioned, a typical kinesin has two arms on one end holding the cargo, the vesicle, and two legs on the other end that walk along the roadway called a microtubule. So it picks up the parcel and walks along microtubules in the cell and delivers the parcel where it's needed. Now, if that sounded like a lot of technobabble to you,
He's like, it was to me too, and I have no idea what I said just now.
let's use a more relatable scenario.
So that was them using jargon, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, watch out! Impressive! Wow.
Although sophisticated, actually pales in comparison to what kinesin regularly do, so that we can better understand the level of complexity at which these micromachines interact and operate among the other systems inside cells.
Let's break it down for you. So, like, kinesins are like delivering something, like how the Bible's delivering the word of God to you. So like kinesins are cool, kind of like how Jesus is cool, and we know about kinesins because Jesus is cool. So you should thank Jesus that kinesins are there. Go to church. Be cool. It's just offensive, man. It's just offensive to me that religion systematically destroyed scientific progress and, ended the life of early scientists that were trying to research this stuff and tried to say that the world wasn't the center of the universe, and they had to, go after those people with, this theocratic government. But now they're like, oh yeah, no, actually, we totally love science, and the science is totally cool, dude.
Now, imagine a fellow named Joe is working at his job one day when suddenly the machine...
Yeah, exactly, Shola. Those tiny little humans walking your DNA, spreading the word of God? Go with Christ, bruh. These people... It's exactly...
he's operating breaks down. After doing a diagnostic to determine what happened, he identifies a broken part and makes a call from a cell phone to a local manufacturer in his contact list, requesting the needed component and giving them the part number. The manufacturer takes the order and records Joe's address. However, although they have a list of all the part numbers on hand, they don't have the schematic required to manufacture it. So they send an email to another company that has the copy of all the...
Dude, what is this analogy? What is going on? I mean, what is happening?
Blueprints for every part needed in the industry, requesting the needed diagram. So someone there makes a photocopy of the needed section from the master database and delivers it back to the manufacturer. And now, having the instructions to construct Joe's needed part, the factory then constructs it, puts it in a package, marks it with the postal address from its database, and calls a courier company to send a delivery person.
What is this? This is so needlessly complex. I don't understand what are they trying to say here? This is so wild.
Arriving at the factory and acquiring the package, the courier punches in the GPS coordinates and travels along the route plotted to deliver the package to the proper address so that Joe can get on with his day. And voila, mission accomplished.
Incredible. And that only works because of Jesus. What is the point here? What is the point? That process was so complex that nothing like that could have happened without God? To them, that whole process was so insanely complex that nothing in our bodies could have evolved in order to do something as simple as delivering a certain package to a certain spot.
Now, most would agree that the level of complexity, both in the engineering and manufacturing prowess, combined with the multi-tiered levels of coordinated communication and interaction that I just described in my analogy, is pretty impressive. Not simply the technology, the communication systems or the manufacturing capability and the databases combining these integrated components, but also the specialized knowledge required at each step along the way.
Thank you.
Beginning with Joe,
thank you for blessing us with your amazing
analysis
knowledge
of his broken machine, all the way to the admin person's insight about which area of the metadatabase to access. Truly, such intricately synchronized problem solving would be considered close to peak level human sophistication.
Peak level.
And of course, in our example, all of these steps were coordinated by intelligent people at every stage.
Oh my God, they are doing the thing.
Well, as impressive as that may have been, let's understand that the actual processes involving kinesin are far more impressive than what Joe experienced. And all of the programming involved was, according to advocates of the story of evolution, supposed to have been generated via random mechanistic processes over millions of years, all without any intelligence behind
it. Oh my gosh. It's just, I don't get it. It's just, I don't know. It's because it doesn't just start with that process, right? It starts with something that's a lot easier, and it's just like one thing moving another thing, or making that thing, making that protein, and so it's just it's not these analogies that they bring up. It's such a joke.
However, just think about the implications we've gone over here.
Think of the implications.
The fact that cells are somehow able to know when and where a specific part is needed inside of themselves requires an incredibly sophisticated diagnostic system.
Yeah, they have like other proteins and other DNAs and transcription factors and all these different aspects of molecular biology that are all regulated one another. They have yes, that's how it works.
It also requires a database of all of the parts that may be stored and the ability to access them at the
DNA. Yes, they have DNA, and DNA can be methylated and silenced or turned on, and epigenetics exists, and there's all these cell signaling factors. Yes, we have those.
Appropriate times when the correct specific communication.
Yeah, there's transcription factors and different promoters that can bind specifically to different parts of DNA and promoter regions in order to specifically turn on heat shock proteins when we specifically need heat shock proteins. Like, that's exactly happens.
Is activated through the system. That communication then must trigger the access of a blueprint for the needed part and the assembly and packaging of it.
Yes, RNA, DNA to RNA exists, to proteins. Yes, it does exist.
With the recording of some type of address for the kinesin to access and utilize in order to travel to the correct destination.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, proteins have specific binding to one another. Sometimes you actually can't just bind one protein to another protein. You have to have a different protein that also molds in there. So then your requirements are more than just one protein to be there at certain points, and so you have diffusion gradients and different types of regulatory mechanisms: pre-transcription, transcription, post-transcription, splicing, pre-translation, post-translation, like all these different mechanisms that exist in the cell. The entire world of molecular biology exists.
Just as an address is useless to us without some sort of map or GPS system of the location. However, the more we discover, the more mind-blowing it gets. Just the kinesin proteins themselves function with incredible efficiency. A kinesin's motor produces nearly 15 times more power than most man-made engines, and is nearly...
Oh my God, yes. Are you serious, dude? Yeah, I mean, there's tons of different molecular machineries that exist. Look at the flagellar, the protein, which is pretty much the gold standard in these types of things.
Nearly twice as efficient as a gasoline engine. In addition, kinesin are extremely fast, moving at a rate of 100 steps per second. And if we were to somehow scale up a kinesin to my height, it would move approximately 600 meters per second, over 2,000 kilometers per hour. As Stephen M. Block from the Department of Molecular Biology at Princeton University said, scaled up to our own dimensions, a motor with corresponding properties would travel at similar speeds and produce as much horsepower per unit weight as the jet engines of the thrust supersonic car, which recently broke the sound barrier. Incredibly, kinesin also have what would be considered a bypass mode ability that allows them to navigate around obstructions that they might encounter while delivering packages.
Whoa.
And similar to how a GPS system recomputing mode will calculate an alternate route should obstructions arise, kinesin have demonstrated the remarkable ability to reroute around obstructions when needed.
Yes.
Of course, this not only demonstrates programming of the kind that computer science describes as conditional statements.
Yes. Happens all the time in nature. Yes. Complex, like, protein metabolic pathways are very complex, and they have tons of different regulatory mechanisms to turn things on and on based off of the presence of other things, guys. It's like, it's so simple, man.
Illustrated by an if-then-else construct common to most programming languages, i.e., if an obstruction, then reroute. It also means that they can somehow determine alternate routes through some type of program operating in the background that can provide the most efficient path available. And no one yet knows what exactly that program is or how it works. Kinesin proteins also coordinate their efforts should the task at hand be too much for just one of them to complete.
Oh my gosh.
Like runners in a relay race, kinesin sometimes hand off their cargo to a fresh worker after bringing it a certain distance. And if the cargo to be transported isn't just a one-man job, so to speak, multiple kinesin will join and pull the load together. And however mundane a simple delivery service may seem, research has shown that kinesin do far more than so-called grunt work. Among their most important functions are the support of cell division and transporting neurotransmitters needed for neurons to communicate with one another. Some kinesin dismantle microtubules, and since controlling microtubule length is vitally important during cell division, as it can cause chromosomal instability, which is linked to human cancer, their work is very important indeed. As one researcher said, if kinesin were to fail altogether, you wouldn't even make it to the embryo stage because your cells wouldn't survive. It's that important. And
Oh my god, I can't. I imagine your like sentence that you said in like some science editorial, like now being used in Answers in Genesis. I'd be so mad, dude.
Kinesin are powered by the universal energy compound known as ATP, which is produced by another engineering marvel inside all living things, ATP synthase, the molecular motor. Every molecule of ATP absorbed by kinesin allows it to take a step.
They're just trying to rattle off like these molecular biology, cell biology mechanisms. And then their whole point is like, well, can you believe that people thought that this came randomly? But that's not what anyone thinks. It didn't come just from random. It didn't come from randomness. It didn't. Like it's so frustrating. They can never actually deal with the fact that like that natural selection isn't a random process. They challenge impossible for any anti-evolution or conspiracy loon to actually deal with the fact that random mutations are tested against natural selection, and it doesn't just every organism, it's just every organism has mutations, but all mutations are not equal. So that's the whole premise of it.
And without the ATP synthase motors, there'd be no way for the kinesin robot to function, which adds yet another extraordinary level of complexity to the processes involved. Cells are also extremely efficient, and this is remarkably illustrated by how kinesin have a hibernation feature.
Yes, Anish. I mean, we're talking like what, 3.2 billion years of evolution from prokaryotes to eukaryotes. So, and we're talking about a doubling time of like bacteria. I mean, E. coli is like an hour. So, I mean, just imagine how many generations there were over 3,700 million years before eukaryotes came around. Sorry, 3,200 million years ago, prokaryotes evolved, and then 700 million years ago, eukaryotes evolved. So that's where eukaryotes came from. This is a eukaryotic organism. So, you know, we're talking a very, very long time with lots of generations in order to make these complex machinery. And it goes to show how much was actually evolved, how much of that background and those molecular processes and molecular motifs, like how powerful they are, that so much has evolved in that 700 million years. It's pretty incredible.
There's an auto-inhibited state when not in use. Similar to how modern computers shut down after a period of inactivity, kinesin fold over and enter into a sleep mode when cargo isn't attached to prevent ATP from being wasted. When needed, they reactivate somehow and carry on with whatever new task they've been assigned. There's also good evidence that they're either dismantled and recycled or transported in groups back to the center of the cell by large transport units.
All these things that it's learned, like in order to go dormant like a PC, right? There was a kinesin with the mutation at some point that didn't do that. And that meant that that cell was less fit than the kinesin that did have the mutation, that did fold over and you know, quote unquote sleep when it didn't have a job. So the cells that were more fit and could, you know, use, in fitness wise, they were more within the population, and that mutation then grew in terms of like genetics within the population of organisms. And basically, if those organisms started breeding amongst themselves against the ones that didn't have these mutations, you're going to have speciation that happens because of that. That fitness advantage is going to make speciation happen, and they're going to be able to develop new niches, new abilities, new capabilities, because they're going to have more resources available to them through that fitness advantage.
Much like how buses, streetcars, or subway trains shuttle groups of people around in cities when they're done with their tasks. Now let's just be honest. If any scientist were somehow able to design such incredible microtechnology, they would likely receive the highest possible accolades and be the recipient of the most prestigious awards available from the scientific community. But of course,
this is like something that like even Ken Hovind couldn't understand. Like, he's like, DNA is so complex, we don't know how any of it works. And I'm like, bro, I literally design DNA experiments all the time. Like that's what we do. We change DNA around in order to have the organism do new things. Like, how is it so complex that we don't know how to understand how any of it works, and yet I'm able to use it in the lab all the time as a molecular biologist? Like, come on, man. Like, come on.
No scientist has even come close.
It's not true.
Scientists have minds. Nature doesn't. So unless nature could display the capability to construct such marvels, would it not be more logical to invoke our creator as the source of these? But
what creator? What are you talking about? How they just completely have? What do you mean? They are homing and hearkening back to your indoctrination as a child to some notion of a creator that was needed in order to explain the natural world. That's the only thing that he was talking about.
In a culture with an education system committed to naturalism, God is never given the glory for such marvelous creations.
Because he's not reproducible, and there's no evidence of God. Zero. None. Not a single shred of evidence that it exists.
It's the story of evolution that supposedly explains such nanotechnology.
Oh my God, he did it. Oh, I told you. I told you. I said he was going to say nanotechnology, didn't I? I said he was going to say nanotechnology as a buzzword, and he did. Oh, I hate it so much. I hate it so much. I can't believe it. I am fully. I can't believe Jorge. Oh my gosh, dude! Just using, yeah, dude. Jorge, don't you realize that like we're on that femto technology now, dude? The creationists know about nanotechnology now, so we're actually at that femto technology level. Exactly. Exactly. What is he talking about? Yeah, exactly. So weird, dude. Exactly, Jorge. Oh my gosh.
It is impressive
That
how
gravitational wavelength technology, dude.
nature manages to combine all of these functions in one molecule. In this respect, it is still far superior to all the efforts of modern nanotechnology.
Oh my god, dude. Oh my gosh. It's like, you can't make it up, dude. You can't make it up. I know, okay, I have to. Who is this guy? It is impressive how nature manages to combine all of these functions in one molecule. In this respect, it is still far superior to all the efforts of modern nanotechnology and serves as a great
example to us all.
Who is Bates' molecular motive? Oh my god. I don't even know who that is. Oh, it's the Emily Bates lab. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine getting... See, this is the problem with these guys. They go and they bastardize this stuff, and then they quote actual scientists that didn't, like, don't bring them into this. Don't bring them into your conspiracy, okay? These poor researchers.
Of course, naturalists typically appeal to the concept of deep time to explain away such marvelous constructs.
Deep time.
The materialist's mantra is simple to complex over millions of years, repeated ad nauseum.
It's not simple. It's not simple. Bacteria isn't simple. That's what we've shown. Like, again, it's complexity, but like there's modularity to it. It's not a simple thing. And this is what they think. They think that evolution is a staircase with humans at the top, and that's not true. Like, bacteria are as evolved as we are. Big numbers are scary.
This is their typical modus operandi for explaining away the incredible complexity continuously being revealed by modern scientific techniques. By declaring that all things, no matter how miraculous they might seem, are possible with enough time. Naturalists brandish the wand of deep time with impunity, waving away all criticisms of the story of evolution that appeal to examples of design.
Yeah.
Now, this is a terrible argument, of course. In our experience, even with intelligent input and upkeep, things get worse over time, not better.
What? Things get worse over time but because we've created them as humans. Like, what is this? A dead, dying piece of a fruit that's not connected to a plant anymore?
However, the problem for them in this case is that the more they research, the more they run out of time. Why? Well, originally, kinesin were thought to be only in the cells of organisms with a nucleus, eukaryote cells. But evolutionists' best guesses of when first life, consisting of so-called simple prokaryote cells, appeared on Earth.
So, did he just say so-called prokaryotic cells?
First life, consisting of so-called simple prokaryote cells.
Is he contesting the existence of prokaryotic cells?
Appeared on Earth is around 3.8 to 4.3 billion years ago.
Yeah, I mean, at least they got that right. What this argument is coming from someone who thinks that the world came 6,000 years ago and there was Noah's Ark. And he's talking about how crazy this idea is that the so-called prokaryotic cells 3.8 billion years ago. He's saying that is crazy when he believes in Noah's Ark, dude. Like, what?
As evolutionists believe that eukaryote cells evolved well over 2 billion years ago, that meant such incredibly sophisticated constructs as kinesin appeared in life very early on indeed, in less than or just over half of the supposed time life was on Earth. How could such marvels appear so quickly after evolution supposedly began? And if trying to explain that type of sophistication in such a short time wasn't enough of a headache, researchers now propose that types of kinesin must have appeared prior to eukaryotes, in what researchers call the last common eukaryotic ancestor, the LCEA. Which means they must have come into existence even earlier on in the deep time framework. As one researcher put it, a large proportion of the extant diversity of the kinesin superfamily was already established before the radiation of eukaryotes from the last known eukaryote ancestor.
Well, that makes sense, because if it's, because there wasn't a common ancestor that it came from. Oh, interesting. So I asked Opus what when did eukaryotic organisms evolve? The fossil and the molecular records differ. Body fossils, the conservative answer is 1.65 to 1.7 billion years ago. The oldest unambiguous eukaryotic fossils are large ornamented organic walled archaeotarchs. Wow. I was wrong. Molecular clock estimates the LCA around 1 billion to 1.6 billion with wide error. The dating is model sensitive and contested. The most cited synthesis found at LECA estimates ranging. Wow. Oh, cool. Bottom line, stem eukaryotes by 1.9 billion years ago. Unambiguous eukaryotes in the fossils. Records by 1.7 billion. In LCA, most offensively, 1.1 to 1.6. Wow, that's amazing. That's really cool. I know. Look how big the DNA is, dude.
And now new research has revealed a kinesin type within bacteria, which, according to the story of evolution, evolved 3.5 billion years ago.
Don't we? Wait, we have cyanobacteria, stranophores that are like basically layers of cyanobacteria 3.9 billion years ago. That's the oldest like fossils that we like have evidence for. So it's definitely not that.
A eubacterial homologue of a kinesin light chain gene has been isolated and characterized from the Cyanobacterium Plectonema boreanum. But that would mean complex features like kinesin were here from at least very near the beginning of life, according to their imagined evolutionary timescale. Again, this is biotechnology far superior to anything the most intelligent scientific minds on the planet have ever produced, which is likely why evolutionists have suggested, without any observable evidence, that perhaps these bacteria were simply given this genetic software package at a much later date via lateral gene transfer after it had evolved elsewhere. Bible believers can be confident in the fact that kinesin...
I like how at the very end here, it's like, yeah, we told you all this thing. This is where he's going to be like, yo, dude, God's cool though. Yo, dude. God's cool. What's up, dude? How's it going? Have you gone to church yet? What's up, bro? How's it going? How are you guys doing? What's up? What's up, dude? Have you gone to church lately? How are you doing? God's totally cool. We can God is a cool thing, and we definitely know stuff because of this book. It says so right here, bro. Yeah. It's like, come on, man. Come on.
We're truly here from the beginning, as the Word of God
Yeah,
says.
exactly.
For in 6 days the Lord made the heaven and
That's
earth,
it.
the sea, and all that is in them. And
Home. All these big words. I didn't understand what was going on, but now we're home, guys. Now we're home. Just going back. Oh, that was all these big words. I didn't understand all your gobbledygook, but now I'm so happy that you're just
rested on the seventh day. Exodus 20, verse 11. Which, of course, would include kinesin.
Of course. Of course. So it is mentioned in the Bible. Duh.
The commonly taught evolutionary story that simple life evolved into more complex forms is simply false.
Oh.
True science is based on observation. And what we've observed is that there's no such thing as a simple life form. Because even the simplest creatures that we've seen aren't simple at all. What we have observed is life forms that range from mind-blowingly complex to a level of sophistication that's virtually inconceivable in terms of brilliant design and functional ability.
Just imagine that like worldview, dude. How boring that is. Like you see something and you're just like, can't ever figure that out. Can't ever figure that out. Can't ever learn about how that works. Nope. We're destined to just never know, because wow, God really did that thing, and that's what happened. And next, it's like, dude, like what if we can figure things out? What if we actually, it's not just this hugely complex, impossibly complex thing. Maybe we can, through experimentation and like rigorous analysis and reproducible experiments, we can figure out things. I don't know. Maybe it is.
Evolutionists believe that in the past there were simpler life forms that existed other than what we observe today, which are not simple in any true sense of the word. They believe that on faith, not facts.
Oh my gosh.
And
it's always so.
They believe that on faith, not facts.
I am always blown away when people like this, they talk and say, like, use the words like faith and religion derogatory. Like they'll use it with derision, right? They'll say that, like, you guys are treating science like a religion. It's a projection of their insecurity. Yeah, exactly. Like, I thought faith was a good virtue to have. And then now they're saying they're taking that with faith, because it's like harking to this inner hatred that they know, and this inner doubt of them being like, yeah, like faith actually isn't that much, right? Faith doesn't really mean that much. And he's literally saying, like, hey, that little like inner like unease that you have, yeah, they have that too. And it's like, I thought like faith was a virtue. I thought religion was a good thing. But now science being religious is bad? But I mean, obviously it's not, but do you know what I mean? It's like, it's just, it's so odd to me. It's so weird.
And common sense tells us that when we see robots in factories or communication devices such as smartphones that can connect to the internet, share information through vast
How does that
diverse
work?
networks, GPS systems that required countless hours of data collecting and utilization through sophisticated state-of-the-art satellite systems, etc. In our everyday
Shiloh, they have to reduce it to faith arguments because it's the only way in their eyes to bring up things and compare them on merit. Yeah, exactly. They have to bring science down to that skeptical urge that they have in their inside of them, and say that, and like normalize that feeling, right? They have to normalize that inner doubt. Very fine.
life, they're always the result of intelligent design.
Oh, phew.
And yet,
Easy.
as a culture in the West, we've been feeding our children into indoctrination centers for decades now.
Yeah. Because definitely in the West and in Canada, there really isn't a predilection towards Christianity or anything, guys. Definitely not in Canada and the United States. We definitely don't push religion on people. Like, not at all. Like, what do you mean? Give me a break. Like, my kids started asking me about religion and Jesus and God from kids in their schools, telling them about it. You know, they come home and they're like, who's Jesus? Who is this? Who's God? What is this? So I had to explain to them, like, this is how people think that the world existed, and this is what it is. You know, they literally learned about religion from going to school. So this whole idea that there is no religion allowed in schools, I mean, like, give me a break.
And these institutions have been teaching young minds in
Look at this indoctrination. Look at that. I love how they used a windmill too. Bro, look at the libs indoctrinating people. Ugh.
to all human experience that a no-mind process, evolution, can produce far more sophisticated technology than what the most brilliant scientists on the planet have ever achieved, and that somehow matter arranged itself into minds that have determined matter is in fact better at creating constructs than we will ever be.
Oh my gosh.
As Jack Szostak, an evolutionist from Harvard Medical School, admitted, we aren't smart enough to design things. We just let evolution do the hard work, and then we figure out what happened.
Oh yeah, I mean that we have 3.9 billion years of evolution, and then we come in at the very end and change something a little bit, and that's how we create technology. That's what biotechnology is. You know, that's what we do. That's how we do it. So yeah, I mean we because we don't have 3.9 billion years of experimentation that we can do. So that's what it is.
Now, are we supposed to believe that this is logical, reasonable, or rational to any degree whatsoever? No.
Yeah, that's not rational. 6,000 years old, that, you know, and Noah's Ark, that makes a lot more sense, doesn't it? It's like, what?
No. When we see comparable, yet even more sophisticated things inside the so-called simplest living things on the planet, it's a logical conclusion to believe that the incredible creator God of the Bible, Jesus Christ, is
like let's say that you did think that it was religion that did it. You know, imagine like it is, right? You're religious, you're a deist. It has to have a God amount to it. Like, what Christian part of this whole process of the kinesin makes it think that Jesus Christ of Nazareth was the one that did it? Like, why isn't it any of the other religions? Why isn't it anyone else? One of the religions that's gone extinct. You know, maybe we extincted the wrong religion and that was like the correct religion, and now it sucks for us. You know, like yeah, it's so logical. It's so logical that it's just the 1 out of 3,000 that we just happen to believe in. Oh, of course, of course.
The wonderful mastermind behind all that we experience. Christians, don't ever let anyone tell you that your faith is irrational, illogical, or not scientifically supported.
Like, you were just saying faith was a bad thing to have, but now it's like, oh, your faith is good though. Their faith is bad.
Non-Christians, take an honest look at the evidence from science and scripture. The story of evolution is simply not scientifically tenable whatsoever, according to what we observe in nature. Even in something like that quirky kinesin crawling around inside of you right now. The fact is, what we see in God's world is what we see in His Word. For His invisible attributes, namely His eternal power and divine nature, have been clearly perceived ever since the creation of the world in the things that have been made, so that they are without excuse. Romans 1, verse 20.
Amazing. Oh, it's so convenient. It's so convenient that the answer is just the one religion that I am. That's so, I love that. I love that about me. How convenient. Wow. Thanks, answers. All right, guys. That was, oh my gosh. That's so funny. All right. Okay. So I want to try this out. New stream segment. All right. Tell me how you guys like it. Okay. Let's see how you guys react. I think that I think that he's hilarious. I want to new stream segment. I want to react and we want to talk about Stavi's World clips. I love Stavi. He's so funny, and he has a podcast called Stavi's World where people call in and leave voicemail messages for him, or sometimes he actually talks to them, and has some hilarious videos. So I would love to talk and watch them like with you. Let's see.
I love it.
So, quick context. Grew up in a small town, America. Went to college right down the road from my house.
That sucks, dude. That sucks, man. Like, you definitely want to move away for college, man. If you can get, like, even if it's no better of a school, you know, even worse, I would move just to like have some difference. Like, you know what I mean? Like I grew up in Orange County and I went to UC San Diego, and that was like, you know, an hour and a half drive, 2 hours with traffic, which is like nice where it's close enough to go home to see the parents and stuff as you need it. But then, oh, thank you for the super chat. Oh, I appreciate you, Kylo. Thank you so much. That's very nice of you. It's close enough to go see the family, but it's also too far so that it's not a drop-in length. You know what I mean? That would be the worst, where it's literally like down the street so that it's like you're never actually away.
Home during college, got a degree that is functionally useless.
Exciting.
And have been working random jobs ever since.
I wonder what degree he got. Why hasn't he mentioned that? I am very curious about that.
Sort of directionless career-wise right now.
Okay.
And I've always felt this like push that gets stronger the older I get to like run away and fucking move to a city or move abroad and just like get out of my small town.
Sure.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I get that, of course.
Dude, I think genuinely, like, do what you can before you get married and have kids to do that. I think that that's genuinely a good idea, because now, like, I wish that is like a huge regret that I have in my life is that I never like lived anywhere other than the United States. And like now with I'm married with kids now, and we have a house, so there's just no way, you know what I mean? There's just no way to do it. I would love to have lived outside of the United States, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? I kind of wanted to, but it is it's tough. Take a gap year. Yeah. Even a visual arts degree, I would think would be like some use. So I would think that it'd be okay.
Of course.
Even though
you're talking to two guys
love-
who fucking moved to New York in their 20s. We get it.
Let's go.
Exactly. I love my family, and I have a lot of really good friends that I love, so that makes it like a little harder for me
Of course.
to like grasp that. But
They're gonna love
Anyway.
visiting you.
6 months ago, I was like, I fucking hate my job and I need something new. So I was looking at ski mountain jobs in the Alps,
Hell yeah.
but I was like too
Okay.
late in the season to do that. So I just got a ski mountain job like down the road from
Hell
me.
yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
And it's been awesome.
Beef up
Like,
the
I love
resume
the
a little
job.
bit. Beef up the
What's
ski.
up?
Beef up the ski resort resume a little bit.
Yeah, and then maybe next year
Maybe next
Sure.
year. I got you.
somewhere in Europe.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fucking
Um,
awesome.
So I got the chance to go on like there's like a 4-week gap between spring and summer, or summer and winter. We get laid off for 4 weeks. So I said, fuck it.
Go for it.
Backpacking trip to Europe for
Hell yeah.
11 days.
Do it.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, it was sick.
Nice.
Awesome.
I was telling my sister about it, and she was like, that sounds cool. And I was like, hey, you want to go? Because she happened to be finishing up her semester. So
Fuck yeah.
we
that's
went
awesome.
and explored Europe a little, right?
Love that.
And it was like awesome. It was dream come true for like the last 10 years. It's been something I want to do, right?
Hell yeah.
Okay. Cool.
In Paris, I met this girl
Okay.
off Hinge,
Ooh.
Paris.
and we had like a pretty fucking, three
Parisian.
awesome.
solid days together.
Dude, that's the
Dang.
dream. Backpacking trip,
Oh,
shack up
no,
with
dude.
a Parisian bitch for a fortnight.
Yeah.
Nothing better than
That's
that.
what I'm
Your,
saying.
your whole psyche, dude. He's just, dude. That's tough though, man. That's tough. Like, so he's gonna try to move in with her. That's tough. That's tough. I mean, that is like a summer, like a vacation fling like that is incredible. It is a huge commitment to move. I think that even still, man, I would probably still move just because at least you're there, you know. But let's see what happens here.
It was sick. So now she's like, hey, you should come live in Paris. And I'm
Dang.
like, all right.
So
So
well,
she's saying it. I thought that it would be like him because he's like kind of down on his luck. That's legit, dude. I would go for it. This is like a great opportunity. Like you don't get many of these. Like I would go for it. You know, like what if it doesn't work out, you know, whatever. Thank you for the introduction. I wonder what happens like with like immigration though. How would that happen? I don't know the immigration into France specifically. Probably have to have a work visa, and that would just have to maybe a sponsor.
I feel like there's a lot of things pushing me in that direction.
Hell yeah,
I really
dude.
got
Yeah.
nothing going on here.
Yeah, America sucks dick.
America fucking sucks dick. It's getting exponentially
It's
worse
getting
as
worse.
time goes on.
Yep.
So I'm like, I don't know, maybe I should just go to Paris and like see what's up, even though like
Yeah,
I know
bro.
realistically maybe it doesn't work out with this girl.
Who
but
cares?
Yeah, I would
Who
go.
fucking
Fucking
gives a
cares.
fuck, dude? Like, that's the thing. If you felt sort of directionless and have this malaise, and this is just sort of naturally in front of you, and you're young enough, like you're young enough, you don't have shit kind of holding you back, whatever. It's like, just fucking go.
Yeah, you can when you're younger, you can take more risks because there's more time to like recover time-wise of like, oh, I fucked up, I died, you know what I mean? I did something bad. Like you should take more risks the younger you are Oh, thank you, 5 Minute. Thank you. That's nice of you to say. I'm really excited. I'm gonna have Father's Day here. We're gonna have a barbecue. My dad's gonna come over. Yeah, yeah. I'm really excited. Oh, thank you, 5 Minute, for the gifts too. I appreciate you. And they have healthcare. Yeah, dude. I mean, Europe is an incredible opportunity in that time of your life. You know, I think that is. I would definitely go for it. You know. Thank you.
What's the
Unlimited.
worst that
Yeah.
can happen? You have to find another fucking ski lodge job.
Yeah.
I got a hunch you'll be able to find. They're not asking about the gap in your resume.
You can stay in France for 90 days. Anything longer, you need a visa. Okay, so you're definitely gonna need a visa. Yeah, I think it's like a work visa, probably, huh? Thank you, 5 Minute. I mog clavicular. Thank you, bro. Before or after his nose job, his failed nose job. That's wild, dude. That was a wild decision that he made.
When you fucking
Right.
apply for a ski lodge job. And listen,
Those are
it
gonna be
doesn't
hard to
work out in
get, though.
Paris.
Those are gonna be hard to get, you know, for obviously in a big city like that. But I think that you just applied for anything, right?
Fuck it, try a different city. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that's, to me, this sounds cool. And this sounds like the kind of thing where, what do you really have to lose? You know, like, go see if you like it. If it doesn't work out with her, all right, you lived in Paris for 6 months and it was a cool, you'll
Yeah.
be able to tell that story for the rest of your life. And by the way, that might be enough for you. That might scratch
Yeah.
this itch, right? Like, cause I'm like, I remember starting, cause me and Elders do have a very specific kind of like dorks around America, like, thought of, like, you know, moving to New York is like that's our eat, pray, love, right? When you're like a fucking, you're like a fat schlub who's like, I want to get into comedy. Like, New York is like the ultimate thing. And
Right.
yeah, I remember when I was like 20 being like, man, if I don't make it in New York, I'm going to fucking kill myself, right? When the reality is, like, the older I got, the more I'm like, I would see friends of mine who would like come to New York for 10 years. That was all they needed. Then they moved back. I saw people that moved here for a couple of years, had a great time and left. People
Yeah.
who moved here and realized it wasn't for them. Like, these
intense,
experiences.
dude.
Look, could you be a fucking guy who just lives in Paris and you have fucking French kids and like whatever? Yeah, that's one way it could work. Could you be a guy who just has an awesome, or not even awesome, but like, the weirdest 6 months of your, like,
Yeah.
you and this girl have a weird relationship, you break up, and then you stay in Europe and backpack for 3 months and get
Yeah.
your dick sucked
Right.
in Berlin and fucking, you know, go train to train, whatever the fuck. Like,
Right.
It's true, though. Yeah, it's true, man. I wouldn't let it like stop you, and just the experience. I mean, you don't get many choices in life to do something unique like that. You know, I think that you kind of you go for it. You have those opportunities, you take those chances that aren't tying you down. And even if you're not fully invested, you're invested into the experience of like trying something new. I think that that's the awesome part. Yeah, Stavi's amazing.
either way, to me, you're never gonna. This is so perfect because
Yeah,
you
I
don't have a
agree.
job that you're that worried about. Your expenses,
Right.
it seems like, are probably low. This is the time to do it. And believe me,
This is the time.
believe me, if it wasn't, I would tell you, right? I would tell
Yeah.
you it's fucking dumb. But you're not about to come up for tenure at your fucking university. You're not about to get promoted. You're not about to make the union. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you're fucking serving up fucking hot chocolate and fucking teaching kids how to go down the bunny slope, right? Like,
Right.
you can find that job after you wash out
Anywhere,
of Europe,
yeah,
worst case
anytime.
scenario. So this is the time, bro. This is the most open and shut question we've ever actually gotten, because I don't even see one negative, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, I agree with him.
So the reason I needed like some outside perspective is because I'm going to talk to my friends and family about this, and
Why?
they're going to be like, oh, but we'll miss you. And they're
Of
going
course,
to
dude.
maybe a little guilt trip, and like,
Sure.
you should stay, and like, we won't be able to see you. And I just needed someone else who's like on the outside with no
Dude, yeah.
association.
How old are you,
to
Mike,
fucking
out of curiosity? Did you say?
27.
Yeah,
Bro.
dude, you gotta go now, bro. You got.
Yeah, dude, that's sick. It's mid-20s. Your brain just like ended developing. like you're really like becoming into your own person. Like after 25 to 30, you're really like forming who you are going to be for the rest of your life. You know, you really want to go for it. If you're Canadian between 18 to 35, you can get a working holiday visa for up to 1 year in France. All right, that's sick.
Yeah,
go
I'm
now.
running
You're
out of
close.
time.
You gotta go now, man.
Yeah.
I'm on the doorstep
yeah.
of.
Yeah, no.
Go for it, bro.
If you don't go now, and by the way,
It's
yeah,
never happened.
this is so you cannot let your friends and family guilt
Talk
you
you out
into
of it.
this shit. You cannot, bro.
Yeah, there's
you will
no way.
literally. This is crazy to fucking heighten this so much, but there are certain moments in a person's life that dictate how your life turns out.
Yep.
I'm not kidding. This is one of them.
For sure.
And if you become a guy who lets guilt and the familiar and inertia of how you grow up stop you from having new experiences, you will be this guy forever.
Yep.
You will be the coward who didn't go to Paris forever. Even if your life turns out good, on some level, you've changed who you are.
I'll regret. Yeah.
You will, dude. And I'm speaking of a guy who's like, I honestly, dude, I've been courageous like 5 important times in my life. And the rest of the time I've been a complete coward. But it was like, you know, moving to like just being like, you know what? I want to do stand up. Even though, I mean, you know, I went to therapy because I want to do stand up and my family guilt, like I had to have a therapist basically tell me doing stand up was okay. And I still didn't listen, by the way. I went back to school, had to learn it for myself, and then was like, no, she was right. Moving to New York was a big one. Fucking leaving Cumtown when I was making like 30 grand a month with no like, you know, certainty that shit would go well. And like, we've been really rewarded more than I even fucking could imagine. And it's like, you know, and look, some bets haven't worked. Sure. Like I've had some bad shit that didn't work out, whatever. But like, you know, there's a couple moments where it's like, you have to throw everything away or that are scary. And it's like, if you just power through that shit, you just become a better version of yourself, win or lose. Whether that situation went right or wrong, now you're a guy who takes chances and doesn't let his family and guilt stop him. And that in and of itself will be bigger for you than even going to Paris, in my opinion.
Exactly. That's what I was talking about. Like being that person that courageous and being learning in order to blaze your own trail. Like that in and of itself is an incredible thing. Yeah, he had a huge podcast. I mean, it was one of the most popular ones in the world. And he basically just left it in order to do his own stand up and his own show and that kind of stuff. And just, yeah, it was, the podcast really hasn't done that well. I don't think like after that. But he's basically gotten like really famous off of Reddit clips and his YouTube's doing really well. So now it's just, yeah, it's interesting.
Someone who's who's had a couple of these moments and a couple hard conversations and a couple hard decisions. Yeah, that's my advice to you, bud. I couldn't more strongly believe that you should go.
Fuck yeah. It's good to hear.
Yeah, so do it.
It's an easy one.
And yeah, call us back from a fucking French internet when you're all set up there.
Absolutely. Did you go to Chamonix when you were in Europe?
I did not.
Elder's just looking for an excuse to talk about his vacation.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Well, you should definitely go. That place was fucking awesome.
I like this place.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like basically a French like ski bum town, and it was like,
oh, okay.
I was only there for one night with my wife, like near the end of our trip, but I was like, holy fuck, this is the coolest fucking place.
That's awesome.
There's just like so many young people who are really doing that ski bum life up there, and God, you should seek that out if you go out there. But definitely, yeah, I fully agree with everything Stav said. This sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah,
sounds like you got nothing to lose. And hey, worst case scenario, you're just back in 6 months to a year.
Yeah, who gives a fuck? But call us back in a year. We want an update either way. All right.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good one. Okay. I work in a tattoo shop and my MAGA coworkers are driving me nuts. Oh no.
Hey, Stavi, shout out to you. Shout out to the guest. So I've been a tattoo artist for 28 years professionally.
Wow.
I ordered some crap off Amazon and called myself a pro. I started back when apprenticeships meant you probably got hit if you didn't do what you're supposed to do.
Oh, wow.
Here's the thing. Tattooing has always been like a safe haven for counterculture people and things like that. Well, lately, I've been working in a shop now for about 4 years, and 2 of the tattoo artists there out of the 4 that work, so that's 50%. 2 of those tattoo artists have become devout Trumpians, Trump thumpers. One of them wears a 47 hat when they tattoo, yada yada. And I gotta say, bro, it's getting to the point where I can't handle it. I don't know what to do.
I get that for
I didn't
sure,
vote
bro.
for Trump. I didn't vote for Kamala. I ain't voted in 2 presidential cycles because this whole thing is a joke.
Yeah.
So what would you suggest?
That's also not cool. Look at the girl on the left going, that doesn't make any sense either, dude. That's not a good. You saying like enlightened centrism when fascism is on the rise, like actual fascism is happening. Like that's not the own that you think it is, dude. Like that's not the own.
B for me, should I
look at her
getting vocal?
She's awesome.
And try to change their minds at the shop, at least shut them down and say keep your politics the hell out of our counterculture safe haven, or do I just get on the road and get into a different shop? Let me know, bro. Love you.
Yeah, this is a tough one because what he's saying is like tattooing you'd think would be it's like it started as like literally for fucking criminals who couldn't do anything else, and now it's become like, you know, the fact that there's like people who just are aligning themselves with like fascist bullshit.
Exactly.
That sucks even more than like, you know, if you're working in finance and everybody's a Republican, no shit. You know what I mean? Like if you're working in certain industries, you know to expect that. So I don't know. Like if this was me, I guess I'm a little confused. Like, are these people his boss or are they just his coworkers?
They probably
sounds like coworkers. Sounds like 2 other tattoo guys at the shop.
If they're coworkers and you're equals, essentially, it's like I don't think there's anything wrong with, because like, look, my stance is like, I have friends who I have different political beliefs with. I have people that I don't see eye to eye with on everything. But if you right now think the Trump administration is doing a good job, you're fucking brain dead.
Crazy.
You're you're like something.
Or if you don't freaking, if you're wearing a freaking 47 hat, that's wild, dude. That is such a statement. That isn't like a sitting on the sidelines not caring, bro. That's like the opposite, right? Like that, you're doubling down right now. Especially considering they probably all are independent contractors through the tattoo shop. I mean, I would say, like, I would just approach them and be like, "Hey, dude, you're like impacting my customers too. You're impacting everyone's like ability to be here, and it's not okay for you to do that."
Is you're either so stupid that you think Trump, like you're literally think of Trump as like some sort of god figure, or you're either racist or you're a fascist, or you're like, you love that, you know, people are being, you know, they're getting snatched up off the streets, that we're starting fucking illegal wars. Like, I don't know what the fuck I don't know what it is, but it's not good, right? Or you're cynically trying to become like, you know, in entertainment, people are trying to harness because whatever you say about them, these people are fucking dumb as shit, but they're very loyal. So I'm sure there's people in entertainment right now that are trying to appeal to them. But in any case, my stance is, if right now you think this administration is doing a good job, you're a fucking idiot. And so like we're not, and by the way, I didn't feel this way during the election, right? Like people who voted for Trump but now are like, holy fuck, I was duped, I was stupid, whatever. I think we could, you know, I'm not mad at, I think it's a very regrettable voting for him. I think you're probably pretty dumb to fall for it in the first place. But
I mean, 2016, I would let people off the hook for that one. Justin, what's up, dude? 2020, less so, right? 2024, how? Like 2024, especially after January 6th, after the insurrection, there's like, what, like that wasn't a big thing for you. Like that's a huge red flag. And then now after this, with what's going on with how, like, I mean, it's the most radical, most divisive president since Abraham Lincoln in our country. I mean, it like truly unfathomable to just be like, I'm going to sit on the sidelines or support this guy at this point.
We can build off that, right? We can get people who like are like, oh, I fucked up and I don't want my country to be like this, right? So I think there's nothing wrong with you being vocal about that in your shop, in a thing that he's been tattooing for, what do you say, 30 years? I don't know how long he's been, did he say how long he was at this shop?
4 years.
4 years, I guess. Are those guys more senior than him? I don't know. Did you accidentally join like a sort of like crypto fascist tattoo shop? Because that also has happened too. Let's be honest. There are tattooers who are like that. But I guess that's my thing. If you feel like these people are kind of ruining your community and like fucking up a place that you helped build and helped see as a counterculture, like safe place, I don't think there's anything wrong with you being vocal.
Yeah,
are you going to change their minds? Probably not. No. But it's good for you to sort of just...
Bro, anyone that has a statement that's making a political statement, they are inviting you to make a statement back. So if he's wearing a Trump hat, every time that you wear a Trump hat, you are absolutely allowed to make a statement about that, because they are making a statement by wearing that hat. So the idea that like they can invade your space and your presence with this thing, the idea that you couldn't even comment on the thing that they are wearing, well, that doesn't make any sense. Of course you can.
Take a stance, and I think all we can hope for these people is that like they understand that they are pariahs, that they need to feel that. And I think and I do think like the only entertainment is pretty powerless against some of the biggest, if we're being honest, we're pretty powerless against really stopping wars and shit like that. But what we can do
is make a song.
Yeah, but
there comes a time.
But no, like I think I really think a lot of entertainers have very cowardly taken the stance of like, hey, everybody buys tickets, right?
Yeah.
Or like,
exactly. How many of them are playing for Trump now? How many of them like played for Trump at the inauguration ball? How many of them are like sitting on the sidelines and not using their influence in order to like sway people? Like, bro, like, come on, man. Like the idea that I mean, we were just talking about it today with the Obama speech, but it's like the idea that zero people have zero, like everyone has zero influence in their lives. Like everyone is an influencer in some way in their life. And like the idea that you can use that influence that you have in order to make society better and improve everyone's quality of life, that has to be how we do things, right? Everyone has to use whatever influence we have to fight back against like this common thing that we are living through, right? That we are all being invaded with, our lives are being taken over and impacted by this common malady, right? And trying to stop this thing.
Artists have become so financially and like fame hungry, even more than ever, so willing to sell out that they don't want to offend anyone that could put money or fame in their pocket.
Exactly.
And that's cowardice. And I think we need to move away from that cowardice. And all we can do is say like, hey, anyone who acts this way, I don't want in my community. Is it a symbolic gesture? I don't know, but
bro, like look at freaking Dave Chappelle showing up for the Obama speeches this week. That was wild, dude. That was wild. The guy, like all these comedians that were making all these podcasts and all these speeches about Trump not so bad, Trump's okay, man. And then now that public sentiment soured on them, now so many of them, like what is it? Bergidza, what's his name? Pete Bergidza or something. Like he's hanging out with the old press secretary, like it's just wild. It's just they're so clout hungry. Yeah, Nate Bargatze.
Right? It's
Yes,
than
thank
being
you,
like,
Han.
let's ignore all of this. And I could say if somebody was saying, there are comedians who have these beliefs. And if I was on a show with them, I would make fun of them for being stupid. Yep. That's what I can do, right?
Right.
And what you can do is make people who, who come into your shop feel more welcome by being like, I mean, at the same time, a lot of people are getting fucking tattoos with this motherfucker wearing a Trump hat. So he must be nice.
Wait,
he must be really
his
good.
work must be sick.
He must have clean lines.
Nah, the lines is dirty.
Great shading.
Did
you know what I mean?
that he didn't vote for the
He
last?
said he didn't vote for the last two elections, and now he wants to change his mind. Baby, change your mind.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
Listen, I
That's
do
true.
understand people who, if you don't live in a, I'll be honest, I didn't vote for Kamala because I live in New York, and I thought the Democrats were being cowards about Palestine. I think
oh my God.
I didn't think that the Biden administration didn't really behave that much differently on the border as Trump won. I had real problems with and I thought the Democrats
Stavi.
they should have had a fucking open primary. They basically told us who our candidate was going to be. And if I lived in a swing state, yes, I would have voted for Kamala, right?
So, but wait, so who did you vote for?
I just didn't vote for anybody for president. I voted for local, my local.
Bullshit, dude. I don't think so, dude. I don't think people that say this, I didn't vote for president. You made a conscious decision to leave that choice blank, but you did all the work to go and vote and do. Nah, I don't think that you voted, bro. I don't think so. Savi's, you see him like a lot in Reddit clips, and his YouTube stuff gets viral sometimes. I think a lot of times people will say this, but then they don't vote at all.
Elections, and that was more symbolic because I knew they were going to win New York anyway.
So,
if I lived in Ohio, if I lived in Florida, I would have probably voted Democrat. I would have. And this guy, I do get it. I do think you guys are right that it's like, but I do think that's the thing is like, we are so far away from normal politics that even people who are completely apolitical see this as a fucking cancer in our culture.
Yeah.
And I don't, I think now's the time to kind of unite everyone from, even if they weren't political, even if they were Republican, even if they were Trump voters the first time, right? Now is the time for all of us to be like, we really don't want to live in this country. This is not what we want our country to be.
America is in its flop era right now.
We're flopping. China's gonna catch us.
Yeah,
I'm about to start learning Chinese on my Duolingo.
Yeah, throw Mandarin on there for sure.
But also it's like, I'm not also spending the last of my years trying to educate these and beg and plead these people to be on the right side because they don't want to. They have all the information.
I know. They're like, she's like, bro, I don't have. So that's the thing, dude. Like, black women are on the forefront, right, of knowing that like we don't have the chance or the hope of like, I'm just not going to vote for president, right? That's the thing. Like black women are literally carrying the team right now in a way that like no other group does. And it's so embarrassing. Like how well they get it versus how poorly everyone else gets it. White men being the most, right? White men are by far the it's embarrassing that how like the patriotism of black women in order to like it's embarrassing for white men that they are doing so little to improve their communities while black women are as a voting bloc coming together in order to try to better the world in a patriarchal and like a misogynist and a racist structure of systems that they don't even benefit from the most, right? Like that's the most wild thing is that they are the most disenfranchised and yet they are the ones that are coming together in the highest percentage to actually better the living conditions for everyone else. That's the craziest thing. So it's like, you know, we need to take a page from the 95% of, you know, black women that vote Democrat and like realize that no candidate's going to be perfect, but voting together to better the world and better the material conditions is a really easy decision to make on the ballot, right? It's not about like being this punk rock, like, oh, I don't need to vote or I don't want to vote, dude. It's like, no, we have to vote. There's one decision that makes any sense, and that's what we have to do.
Is what they want to do. And so it's like, what are we doing here? These people have all of the information. They see what's going on. Well, are your eyes closed?
But I think there's a difference between our caller who just like, even people like our caller who's like, look, I don't fucking want anything to do with. There's a difference between like not being involved with politics and actively in this moment in time being like Trump's the man.
Yeah.
Right?
Wearing that hat to work is like, hey, we don't do
wild,
politics
dude.
here. Take that off.
Yeah,
that's wild. Like politics at work like that being like offensive when it's so easy to just go to another tattoo parlor. Like that is so. Hey Randall, what's up? That's so crazy, dude.
And just flip it off.
Yeah,
Bow.
move his arm a little bit, fuck up the fucking person's tattoo.
Yeah, but you can't say you're not into politics and live in America and have all the rights that you have. That's politics. That's what it is. You can't remove yourself from it and be like, oh, I don't want to get involved, when it's like you are benefiting from being in America.
Yes.
So
yeah, I agree that I do think particularly in this moment in time, people being like, both sides are crazy. They're out of their mind. They're like that. We're done with centrist bullshit. That's not going to save America, right?
Exactly.
And I agree with you. I just think like for our caller, like this is your time to like do something different, to be like, to show that this isn't acceptable for you. And then if you do leave, now maybe focus on like, making a shop that actively is counterculture, that is actively, trying to be a place for immigrants, LGBT people, like just accepting of everybody.
Who is he giving tattoos to? ICE agents? Like,
it is interesting. Like, who does?
Pete Hegseth's like a Nazi tattoo. That's what he's filling in the blanks. He's doing like black work on it.
I mean, honestly, yeah. ICE agents do need to fucking have, a horrible cross on their arm or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're wrong.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There are definitely racists love tattoos. So it's like, but that's the thing, man. This actually, Sydney's, I think you are very right, where it's like, I think what we're learning now and what I hope is that like people should understand that there really is no neutral here. Yeah. There's like, make a difference or you're helping, or just like you're helping. And it's not even a big difference, but it's just like, do something. Yeah. And so I think now's a good chance for you to be like, what kind of shop do I want to be in, right? You can't. You're not going to stop this person from being a fucking idiot. Nope. But can you take this and on your net, like if you start a new job, if you're at a new place, and you just you're not actively helping. This is a moment for you to be like, all right, I'm gonna fucking try and like balance the universe a little bit and do a shop that actively courts counterculture, actively courts misfits, actively isn't racist, sexist, whatever that movement.
Like, how could anyone be like in any type of counterculture space and love Trump, dude? That's wild. It's like the people that are like Republicans and love Rage Against the Machine. Like, bro, what? Like that makes no sense, dude. Like a quasi like authoritarian fascist leader. That is the punk rock ideologue that you're espousing. That is so wild to me.
So I wonder what city he's in.
That's interesting. We can look up his area code,
Seattle?
but that doesn't usually.
Right in my mind, it's like Portland or something.
That doesn't usually tell that he could be.
This is he's wearing an elbow brace. He must have like messed up his elbow on his left arm, and then this is a concert like tag. It's a concert tag.
My Baltimore.
He could be anywhere.
Still. You know what I mean?
He could literally be anywhere.
This actually is very interesting.
A festival like RFID
context,
tag,
and I guess we could bleep it. He's in
Oh, okay. That makes sense. I get, but again, he could just not be there, right? Like,
Yeah.
His
so I don't
phone is
know.
from there.
Yeah, his phone's from there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of the altitude or a lot of oxygen is being
maybe
cut off.
maybe
There's
Colorado.
racist.
and they're all high. Yeah. Thin air makes you racist.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. So yeah, dude, fucking do that. But that does have to be annoying. I mean, yeah, tattoos is like, it is people that just like have markings on their faces. People who could never have another job. So, but yeah, dude, I think that's how you handle it personally. It's like
a
start
festival
being
thing,
more
yeah.
vocal. Be like, this shit is fucking unacceptable. Which again, I would do. I personally, I do think that shit is unacceptable, and I do think it's fucking corny.
Yeah.
When people are, especially comedians, are pro-Trump right now. But yeah, I think that's what you can do. And then yeah, if you have
Because their lights are on though. Their lights are on. They're like, yeah, I'm not on the right side, but look at all the money I got. There's a lot of people who are on your side so you're supposed to be on. Hey man, Con Ed's about to get cut off. They're not getting any tickets. Like people are not showing up.
Yeah.
But as soon as they're being activists,
Well, because that's the thing. The people who are like pro-Trump are loud about it, and people support them. The people who are not Trump are afraid that people aren't going to buy tickets to their thing, so they're quiet about. I don't know.
The middleman shit is like, I do think artists in general, it's like, we got to stop being, too many artists have started thinking like business people first. And it's like, I kind of feel like this tattoo guy where it's like, the whole point is we did this because we didn't want real jobs.
Right.
It's not to like I really, look, I'm very happy with the success. It's awesome. I like fucking not worrying about money, but it's like, I did this so I wouldn't have to have a fucking job. I'm not going to like try and get as rich. I just think too many artists worry about getting as rich and as famous as possible. And it's like, if you're able to have a good living off your art, that's all you need to do. That's the goal. And then you can actually, what's the stuff that made you passionate about art? You know what I mean? Like, do you want to say something?
People lose track of that after a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
And we live in a time where everybody wants to be famous for being famous.
everybody.
Everybody wants to be famous for being famous.
They've lost
And
the
it's like,
plot, honey.
Well, do you have a skill? No.
Do you have anything you want to say?
No.
Do you have a skill you want to develop? There's none of that.
No.
Do you have a hobby? Can you read? No. Like,
It's like, I'm on Twitch, no. And it's
So
like,
true.
okay.
Yeah.
Dude, it's crazy like doing the TikTok battles and stuff, and how many people would just be like turning their phone on and then just like expecting people to give them money. You're like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just like playing video games or watching TV, and I just have a TikTok battle going on. Like what? Like what? Who's benefiting from this, dude? Like watching this, you know what I mean? It's a very weird like reality. Okay, last Stavi clip. Am I the asshole for telling my Hinge date that his bathroom is gross? Definitely not. Definitely not.
Hey, Bob. Everyone. Hope you're doing well. Wanted to know if I am the asshole for telling a Hinge date after a hookup that his bathroom was really gross.
It's nice. It's nice of you.
That if I were to be invited over again,
Oh, wow.
I would want that to be clean.
That's awesome.
Dude, that's what men need. It's well, the fact that it came to that is very embarrassing for this person, for this dude. But the idea of like, this is the line in the sand that like, bro, you gotta at least like, it's not even clean. Nobody wants to be in there. Like, it's gonna help him for in the future. You know, that is, yeah, she's being truthful and polite. Yeah, exactly, Cruz, and I totally agree.
If you want repeat pussy, go buy some Clorox wipes.
There's a ring around your tongue.
Yeah, dude, for real.
Ain't gonna be no ring around your neck.
This is what I'm talking about, guys. Like, this is what I mean. Like, you gotta clean after yourself. You gotta clean your bodies. You gotta do some dishes. You gotta clean your stuff. Like, you know, like you have to groom and clean, and not for like some arbitrary cleanliness, but just to look after yourself and look nice and presentable, look like you've meant to be there, like you want to be there, that you're proud. It's like a pride of ownership thing where you want to be proud of your space. It's not just like is it functional? Like, yeah, of course it's going to be functional with some dirt on it. Yeah, we get that. Like, that's not what we're talking about. The idea is like, this is my, there are many toilets, but this one is mine. And my toilet, as compared to everyone else's, shouldn't be the worst one that you have ever seen. Right? Like, this is like how you present to the world. Like, the first impression of someone that you're dating when they go into your house shouldn't be, wow, this is a lot dirtier than any other room that I've been in the last week. You know, that's challenge accepted. Exactly. It's called Stavi's world.
Yeah, if there's a ring around the tub, you're not going to experience the Nuva ring inside of me right now.
Yeah, but it's like if you already went to his house, you saw his bathroom, and you hooked up with him, you think he gonna give a fuck about coming back
She
over?
had sex. She had sex and then probably saw the bathroom.
No.
Afterwards? I don't know, man. I don't know. That's an interesting. I don't know. She probably went to the bathroom. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know.
Hey, baby, you got a UTI.
No.
You got a doctor. But also, wash his hands.
Yeah. Also, though, if you've gone on a date, it's gone well. You're like making out or whatever, and then you're like, let me go to the bath. You're already about to fuck. Are you really not gonna fuck because the bathroom's dirty?
Yeah, I can see that point. I don't know. I mean, she did say if it happened again. I don't know. You're kind of committed at that point. It might be weird, but she could just say, hey, something's come up. I got to go. You know? I don't know.
If the bedroom's nice, you know what I mean? If the rest of his house is clean.
That's not, I would find that very highly unlikely that like everything else is clean. It might be pretty bad. My grandmother used to say, if your bathroom and kitchen are dirty, the whole house feels dirty. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, especially like being like, I mean, there's so much stuff that comes out of your kitchen. Your bathroom, not much happens in there except for gross things. So you kind of need to keep it clean. It doesn't take much, man. And you know what really changed toilet cleaning for me was let's see. The bathroom toilet wands. Dude, these things are amazing. These are genuinely awesome because it creates like a little thing right here, this little wand you take up, and then you have like a brush that's right here that you can just instantly start cleaning and then toss it in the trash. Guys, you got to have a trash can next to your toilet, okay? That's another thing. You guys got to have a trash can next to your toilet, okay? So buy a trash can toilet with a liner, and then this is next to it. And then you just you pick up this part, and you put it on, and it's just the water, you clean with it. It takes 30 seconds, and it's absolutely incredible. And it's so fast, so easy. You don't have that gross brush that's creating all that clean, because you're not cleaning the brush that much, you know. So it's very, very awesome.
Are you really not gonna fuck at that point?
I went on a date with this guy, date is a loose word. I went to this guy's house.
Okay.
And we were talking, we having a good time. He cute, he tall, he had all his teeth. I was like,
Helen, we gotta talk. We're talking practical life tips with I think cleanliness it encompasses grooming and just in general, you know. I don't know. I think it's all good. We got to help men deconstruct their misogyny and build them up to actually be proud of something that isn't better improve the lives of the people that they're living with, and let the women improve the lives of women.
Is that a washer dryer? I was ready. I go to the bathroom. There was a condom wrapper in the top of the trash.
Did he leave by himself?
Dang.
Yes.
Ah, that's tough.
I said, I gotta go. I didn't have sex with him. He didn't need to have sex with me. He just had sex with somebody else.
No, that's different though. I mean,
the bathroom was clean though, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. You're saying like everyone has their deal. What I'm saying is, what if the bathroom was dirty and there's no condom? And I'm
saying just because you're there doesn't mean you have to have sex.
I know that.
True.
I'm saying if no, don't you fucking try it. My position: a woman who smiles at you owes you pussy. That's not what I'm saying, Marie. I'm just saying if I'm putting myself in her shoes, when it's like
exactly the basic life skills. I know, right? I think it's like one of those things where like guys like this like masculinity is making yourself look good. You know what I mean? Like cleaning. You know, that can like encompass that aspect of who you are and how you present to the world, right? It's like masculinity isn't a negative thing that's only to be used against someone. It can be used inwardly in order to help improve yourself, right? And I think that's the idea, trying to like show guys that like channel that energy to conquer parts of your life that are messy, right? And that you haven't done the work yet to make yourself better. So making those little parts of your life better will in turn make the people's lives around you better. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, Stavi is a stand-up comedian.
I've been to a situation where I'm like, I'm having a good time, and like, you know, somebody does something off-putting, or like, you know, one time I went on a date and a girl moments before, like literally, like we had started hooking up, and she said something like quasi-Republican, and I was like, I'm already hard.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not.
She said America's going to be even greater.
She said it was like some kind of weird Hillary Clinton jab, and I was like, well, I don't really like her either, but, but it was.
I'm not going to read too much into it.
It was very like, I'm very hardcore, like, you know.
Dude, the big thing though, if a woman starts spouting that stuff, like I'd be worried about abortion, you know, straight up. Like that would be a big thing for me, where I would be like, that is, you know, I would just straight up ask, like, how do you feel about it? Because you can't, even if like something breaks, IUD fails, pill fails, like, bro, you got to have like a conversation about it if they're Republican, because if they're like, oh, I'm hardline on this, I would be out 100%. There's no way that's happening, you know.
Republican coded, whatever.
Yeah, and then you were like, I'm gonna beat the Republican out of you.
And I was like,
no, I mean like beat that Republican pussy.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
But like, look, I was already there.
But
you know
you're
what I mean?
a guy.
True.
You're a man.
That's fair.
Women don't need too much to feel the ick, and once the ick happens, it's a wrap for you.
Sure, but I would like to.
The ick don't stop me from doing what I did. You know what I mean? Like
if you're in the zone,
if
you're wanting to fuck.
Like it depends on how horny you are.
That's what I'm saying. This girl's probably was. I'm saying in a scenario where you're juiced up, ready to go. I'm gonna leave.
Well, she said, am I the asshole for telling him his bathroom is gross?
I don't think you're an asshole for that. No.
Not at all.
She's got a little.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Aldous. Go ahead, Aldous.
Randall, cleanliness shows self-respect, which tends to get respect back from those around you. Exactly, Randall. Exactly. You gotta love yourself. You know what I mean? You gotta love yourself. Like you gotta groom yourself. You gotta wash your clothes, shower, deodorant. You know, it's so important. I agree with this. Me and my partner had the conversation first, and we are not Republican. Yeah, Noctis, you have to. I think that's like a really normal thing to have like that conversation with. I think it's crazy to think that I think guys have gotten out of the guys have such a reflective anti-misogyny bent now, like that you hear these stories of guys that just like don't wipe their ass or don't wear deodorant, don't shower, don't shampoo their hair, and you're just like, I mean, one, it's like there might be something going on there, like maybe it might be like some like a self cleanliness thing where, you know, like autism and stuff can manifest in that way. But you know, a lot of it is that people think that growing up, I remember a lot of people like we're talking like in middle school and high school, like homophobia stopped them from like washing their butts because they didn't want to like have to like put their, you know, wash rag or something up and like wash their butts and stuff. They thought that you because you're touching man butt, now it's your you know, homophobia. It's like, bro, like like what? No, man, you're just making yourself clean. Like you gotta like make sure it's all clean back up there, man. If you're not washing it, who else is? You know. So I think that as guys have like retreated back, and they're so misogynist now. Like for example, being educated is seen as feminine now, right? Cleanliness is seen as feminine now. Like, you know, all these different aspects of just basic human decency have become ideologically centered. And now, like, because of politics and because of misogyny, you have guys retreating from just common basic decency for one another. It's really bad. That's so bizarre to me. I'm from the UK and it throws me every time I hear this. Yeah, Noctis. I mean, it happens. Our birth rates are low. I'm cruising. I mean, that's. I know it's weird, but I really do think that a good goal of my content and is trying to like reclaim masculinity, guys. I really do think it's important. It's one of the reasons why I work out on stream. It's one of the reasons why we're trying to coach. We're trying to build up, you know. It's alright if they don't clean their, you know, for survival of the fittest, disease will get to them. Yeah, Noctis, I don't think so. I think the problem is that it's not going to harm their survival rates. It's going to affect the quality of life for everyone that's around them. You know what I mean? Exactly, Sauls. Reclaiming masculinity and patriotism. Exactly, Sauls. Exactly. That's a great way. That's so exactly. Yes.
I don't know. I know it's tough, vulnerable subject, and then the guy unmatched me after that.
Oh, he's mad.
Otherwise.
Yeah, well, that's the right decision then. That's the right decision. I would be so embarrassed if I said that. I would, you know, that happened, you know, but I would say like, oh yeah, absolutely. I honestly, in this scenario, I probably would have lied and been like, oh man, I clean my bathroom all the time. I can't believe it was just an off week or something. I'll clean it for sure next time. You know what I mean? I can't imagine going this direction though, but
we had a great time.
How about reclaiming basic human decency? True, but the problem 5 Minute is with men specifically, I think. You know, like women are already on the right side of education, human decency, all these things. So it's like it's trying to help men say that we can build into a better future for everyone by, you know, building up women, building up education, building up, you know, different aspects, cleanliness, you know, into a worldview that's not toxic, you know?
Am I the asshole?
You're not the.
Just move on. Where do I get guys?
That's hilarious.
Move
Does
on.
everyone have a gross bathroom?
No.
I don't know.
Well,
I
hold
just
on.
feel like
Not now, but you see our apartment 10 years ago.
Oh yeah.
It's embarrassing. I mean, there was a time, I mean, guys, I mean, this is the thing, like, it's not bad until you need, this is why, like, you know, the old adage, like, men really need, like, women. It really does help, you know, because I had a girlfriend, an ex, that was like, bro, you got to clean your sheets. You know what I mean? I wasn't having anyone in them. I was just sleeping in them, but it was just, I wasn't cleaning them regularly from just sleeping in them. It was just gross, you know? And then we washed them. She was like, bro, you need to like, just like clean this. So we just washed my sheets for the first time in like months and months and months. And then I watched them and it was just almost like, oh my God, this is like so different. This is incredible. Like I had no idea. It never like occurred to me how often I needed to clean my sheets until my ex like said that. And it was just like an epiphany. I was like, wow, okay. So definitely going to be doing that.
I mean, I was playing all away games back then, though. There was no way I was bringing girls back to my fucking windowless room in the corner of the fucking living room. I maybe fucked like 3 girls the whole time, and everyone had to leave the apartment.
But how gross is gross? Because this guy later became my boyfriend, but I was at this club. I'm blacked out, drunk. I'm in espadrilles and a long skirt.
A Jessica Simpson way.
Yes, I went to brunch and whatnot. And somehow I met him. I'm getting drunk. I'm having pickleback shots. I go back to his apartment. We hook up. I wake up in the morning. The bathroom is literally disgusting. It like came out of the Candyman, the first one in the movie. It was one of those bathrooms. And I go into his bedroom. I look up. His ceiling is fucking missing. Half of the ceiling is like in a
that's only for cars, Sydney.
And then worse,
Pigeon just hanging out.
the worst part about it is he had sheets that were like, I think it was like a 30 thread count, 30 thin, like fucking.
Yeah,
what do you
can file your nails on them. You can fucking
hard and thin.
Yo,
polyester, freaking sheets.
And this is, by the way, this is why we shouldn't laugh at sobriety conferences. this is what being blacked out gets you, by the way.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, ceiling. Pull up to the house with the ceiling.
Obviously, I couldn't give him a new ceiling, but
I mean, I would be questioning how she got there and whether or not he took advantage of her being in that condition to bring her home, because it doesn't sound like he was getting much action otherwise, and whether or not he preyed on her in this scenario. You know what I mean? I mean, it sounds like he doesn't normally get these opportunities, and he might have taken one on someone that was blackout. So this is like a consent issue for me right here. This is like this weirds me out for sure.
I was like,
of course,
you gotta get new sheets.
Wait, this was your boyfriend?
He later became
shit
my
was
later
going
became
bad. Shit was going bad.
I saw the potential. I said the apartment could get better.
You said it gets great life.
The penis,
Ooh,
the sex was not trash. You know.
Okay, all right.
I said it could get better, and then he did end up getting a whole new apartment.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, it's so there you go. So see, that's what he needed in his life, is a woman that like it helps. It helps, guys. I mean, if you're that drunk, when they're both that drunk, I get what you're saying though. I mean, it's one of those things where you can't be like more upset than the person is, but sometimes it doesn't take someone, you know, until after the fact to realize that someone was, you know, taken advantage of in that scenario. You know what I mean? So that's the real thick and thin of it.
So it was like,
was he squatting at this place?
No.
Yeah,
squatting.
Extension cord running from across the street.
No, that's another guy.
Yeah. He was like, don't use the microwave while the TV's on.
He would get mad when she charged her phone.
Yeah. Cindy, what the fuck?
Everything, we just fuse blows because I turned on a blow dryer. Yeah.
Oh, hilarious. Yeah.
That has happened.
Crazy.
But see, that's a good example, though. Even though, like, you said something, this guy lived up to that, and you guys had a relationship. You were not wrong, our caller, our lovely caller. You're not the asshole because you said something about how this guy lived in an unacceptable way.
Exactly. These women are angels that are helping these men out from probably depression. You know, like it's amazing.
I wouldn't say you're the asshole, but I would say that obviously you're better off. This person wasn't going to change. You know,
he unmatched her. They already hooked up. She said we had a lovely time.
Yeah. And he was like, and he read that. He was like, still hit.
Yeah. But I hit though. And he moved on.
Exactly.
Unmatched. So you did take a minor L here because you let a man with a disgusting, disgusting bathroom hit and unmatch. But you know what? You had a good time.
Maybe she hit and then found out the bathroom because that's what happened to me.
That's what I'm saying. I do think that's what happened. That's what we think is going on.
Yeah.
And even if it wasn't, right? Whatever. Honestly, I'm of the position of like the same way we're applauding female deadbeat moms. There should be girls that are as horny as men that make bad decisions.
There are girls who are as horny as men.
And that's what I'm saying. We shouldn't judge them. We shouldn't judge them for that. That's what I'm saying.
There she goes. Yes, there you go. So she's owning it. There you go, Noctis. She's owning it. You know, it's all good.
Him before you saw the bathroom, did you check under his nails? You are ill. You not the
exactly,
asshole,
guys. Exactly, guys. Oh my gosh, exactly.
That is true.
He probably wipes back to front or whatever.
Rubbing shit on his own balls. Not an issue for men, but yes.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, is that a thing that they
Yeah.
Go to the doctor immediately. You're sick.
Yeah.
You're ill. Your vagina is sick.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
I do think you should probably get
pH
checked.
balance all the way off.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Negative.
Very acidic right now, probably. Shit's tasting like a lemon, maybe some tomato bisque.
Pickleback
Like a pickleback.
I'm like, to the tongue, it's pickleback. That's my thing. I'm not mad at that.
Literally.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, last one, guys. Last one, and then I'm gonna go after this. Okay, should I tell my mom that her dad isn't who she thinks? Oh man, this is gonna be nuts. Yeah. PH gone on sick leave, exactly. All right, guys, here we go. PH, should I tell my mom that her dad isn't who she thinks? Oh my gosh, how would you find something out, like genetics or something?
Hey, Sab, I actually just left the voicemail, but I realized it was really, really confusing. Okay, so here's the situation. I was adopted when I was a kid, did a 23andMe, found my biological family because I was looking for my dad's side. Always knew my biological mom's side. So I do the 23andMe, find all my family.
Dude, stop the stupidity. Bro, thank you so much, man. 5 gifted on YouTube. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Thank you, man. I love you guys watching. We're really trying to push the YouTube right now. Like the YouTube algorithm is really loving my videos. So I have really we're like focusing on YouTube. We just got monetized there too this week. So I will, however you want to hang out, you can hang out there. Some people are like watching on YouTube and chatting on their phones. Whatever you want, I appreciate it, and thanks for hanging out. I'm like 1.3K right now, and I think I've gotten like 600 in the last week. So it's been wild. So it's been amazing. So thank you. Yeah, Kent, exactly. Yeah, Stop the Stupidity has been so gracious and stuff. It's been amazing. Yeah, my Ken Hovind debate video is going to be hitting 50,000 views soon. So yeah, I never have gotten any YouTube video longer than a short that's like gotten more than 50,000. So it's awesome, and really, really, really pumped for it. So thank you, Stop the Stupidity. Thank you so much. You've been really gracious.
Connect with them. I meet my biological grandfather on my mom's side.
Okay.
We're all close. Everything's going great.
Nice.
And then I I found out the 23andMe got updated. And a man popped up that is supposedly my biological grandfather on my mom's side, but that's not my grandfather. Like, that's not her father that she knows of. So I did a lot of digging. I went through all these like old news articles.
So she meets her biological mom. She then meets her biological mom's dad. And then 23andMe is telling her that her real biological grandfather is not the person that her biological mom introduced her to. That's rush. 5 minute. My mom's friend found 3 siblings from 23andMe, all from here, mom, all in between marriages. Oh my gosh, 3 extra siblings that they didn't know? That's wild. Yeah, stop. Yeah, it's been great. It's been awesome, man. Isn't 23andMe a bit shady? I mean, it's one of those things where you don't own your data, so it can be sold to other companies and stuff. So it can be hard. Yeah, that's a rough 5 minute. Yeah. I mean, the DNA evidence is really pushing people into out of the hiding kind of thing. Ken Hovind. Ken Hovind. I debated him on evolution on Modern Day Debates. Yeah, it's on my my YouTube. 23andMe was sold, and the company that bought the data stores end up selling off the profiles. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Well, they went through like divorce records and things. Long story short, my biological mother's mother had a whole second family. Well, a second and possibly third family out in like Texas and California. And so
damn. Dude, that's crazy. The second family in different states is crazy. I heard about a story of someone that was like that. Their grandfather had 2 families in the same city, but completely different. Like one, which is wild. One of the families was Catholic and then one was Christian, and he did it specifically so that they would never have the same church group friends. And Randall Flagg, you should check out the debate though. It was really good. Yeah, it was. Yeah, exactly. Very ballsy. But then he would do things like he had like a mountain town, a vacation city, and then there'd be another vacation home nearby. I have no idea how this dude was able to afford so many houses. He had one income, and he had 4 mortgages. It's just like some true 1950s stuff, King Alpha, how's it going, man? Thanks for hanging out. I don't get it. I don't get it. I found out my supposed dead grandmother simply abandoned his black family to pass as white. Oh, no. Oh, that's awful. Let's see how this person does the caller.
Grandfather that popped up on the 23andMe is most likely her actual biological grandfather, and her biological father, and she doesn't know that.
Whoa,
you can kind of tell like they don't look alike. She looks a lot like her mom, but yeah, it's a whole weird situation. And since I was, adopted at birth and given up from the family, I don't know if it's my place to go, hey, that's not your dad. Like this actual man is, because I don't want her to go through the same thing I would do, but like at the same time, she should know that that's not her actual father, right? Like, yeah. So I don't know what to do. I'm like freaking out, man.
23andMe is ruined. I mean, this is crazy. It's like not only is the government now just has your DNA, they're gonna sell that shit to Palantir at some point.
Yeah.
Not only is that a problem, but it's like, how much just old-fashioned cheating did it ruin?
The mom had a second family.
I respect that, by the way.
I'm happy for the mom.
Shout out to the mom. That is
the mom. I've never heard of the mom being the one that was holding it down with two families. That's tough, dude. Because like pregnancies and stuff, how would you possibly do that? Like that's wild. You're just going on like a 12-month vacation. I don't know. That's wild.
do.
Yeah.
I guess you just wore very loose clothing for 6 months.
Exactly.
That's who did if she got to cook.
Yeah.
No, she was being a deadbeat mom, and I promote that. I promote that. So good for her.
I'm also not mad at that.
Breaking the glass. We do love when we
Rob Jeremy looking good. No, this is so Stavros. Yeah, exactly.
Female dirtbags on this podcast.
Yes.
It promotes equality.
Women in male-dominated industries.
And women in STEM.
Pop off, you trashy bitch.
But also, it's like, why are y'all so fucking nosy? Like, for
Thank
the
you, Randall.
wrong things. It's like,
Yeah, I have a video on the modern day debate stuff, and then I also did the tomato panel recently. If you guys haven't seen that, it's a 10-minute video of all it was the rage compilation that I made. It was hilarious. Just all of them raging at me and all the roasts that I gave them back. It was honest. It's probably my favorite 10-minute video that I've ever made. So definitely check that out on my YouTube if you haven't. Dr. Greg Show.
Does it matter? I
know what you mean.
Imagine if me right now at this age being like, you know what? I just want to know who my dad is. I would never.
Right.
I would, because
I could text Maury.
No.
Are people calling in live, or are you watching a pre-recorded show? So we are watching the Stavros World's clips, but this is a show on YouTube. But I take people on. People can join on TikTok, and I can talk to them. Like there was a guy that joined for a 30-minute chat earlier today, or I have a Discord, and people can voice chat with me there. Raging Tomato is another MDD posing as debate natural, but clearly they're a platform for the quacks. Yeah, exactly, Kent. And I think I'm trying to go on all of them. So I think that one of the big problems that we have is that we're siloed, and these algorithms basically don't allow cross-cultural contamination and spreading. And I think that as a science communicator, I'm basically going into these places at for the first time. And that is like something that I want to do. I'm not afraid of their fake machismo, and I think that I have fun doing it, so it's, I think it's really important. I've signed up for Jubilee. I actually got a call back for Jubilee. I got someone that was contracted consulting with me in order to try to get me on, and they ghosted me. They stopped responding. So I don't know why. How does one find your live schedule? Thank you for asking. I basically go live every night between 9 to 10 p.m. PST, but I've been doing an additional 2 or 3 hour stream sometime during the day. So yeah. There are a couple new channels of that to try. I'll try to find their channel name for you next time you're live. Okay, Kent. Yeah, I would love to go on them. I'm trying to go everywhere, guys. So any podcast, any debate place, anywhere. Yeah. Yeah, Breakfast Taco. Yeah. I'm friends with him, and I go on there all the time. They do the debate reviews for me, and then I also did an evolution debate there too. So yeah, thanks for asking, and thanks for thinking of it. Oh, thank you. Noctis, thank you so much. Thank you, or Noctis, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate that. There are some characters on there for sure. Yeah.
Holy fuck. I would love to do a "You Are Not the Father" with you.
What?
I would love to try and find your. I mean, if you don't want to, obviously, I'm just saying, in a world where you wanted it, you gotta admit that would
never.
be. I get to be
That would
Maury.
do numbers.
That would really do numbers. And of course, this is not. You're literally.
Yeah, I put out highlight videos of the best segments that I think are worth watching, and I put those out every day, and then shorts or highlights of it. So for sure. How do you decide if the value you provide is worth it on certain shows? So, Brandel, I think as a science communicator, I think that I have to be as agnostic as possible to try to have. think that everyone should have the opportunity to ask a scientist and talk to a scientist for the first time. Noctis. Okay. Hey, thank you. Thank you for donating on YouTube. I really appreciate it. Basically, if you donate on YouTube as opposed to TikTok, it's a 30% increase in the amount that you get to give me. So it's like a 20 or 30%. I think it's 20%. Yeah, because YouTube gives me 70%. The TikTok only gives me 50. So every $10 you give me, I get like $12 instead, basically. So yeah, I basically see my role as like a science communicator, and every place deserves the chance to have that discussion with the scientists. So I and I'm not necessarily going on any of these right-wing, shows trying to change anyone's mind, right? But especially the host. But the idea is that there are people there that are watching, that have legitimate questions, that are interested in science, and they might be on the pathway, or they might be pro-science. They might be on the pathway of being conspiratorial, and I can bring them off of that. They are questioning, and I can answer some of those questions. They're pro-science, and they're kind of like not hate watching, but they're also kind of like, they're just watching because they like that person. So I have kind of like the duty as the science communicator to go and answer those questions. So I will go on anyone's show. So, and people ring me on TikTok, basically, if there's like a panel or something that's happening and people are talking about science, they like DM me real quick, and I try to go on the panel to answer questions. But yeah, that's definitely something.
Saying like you're being very vulnerable and saying I don't want to. You're sharing something, and we're like, wait, what about the retweets?
Imagine the clip.
I would do it for the content. I would do it for the content. But for me personally, what would me finding my father now do for me? Right. I'm already like phased out of caring. You know what I'm saying? I'm at the age where it's like,
if you had a rich dad all this time, you would get your trust.
He would not give me that money.
He'll
find a way. He'd get me murdered. He's like, I'm not giving her this money. I would get murdered.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's the first thing you're.
Yeah, exactly, King. Yeah. So every $10 you guys give me on TikTok, I keep $5. That TikTok takes 50%. On YouTube, they take 30%. So I take 70. So yeah. Yeah, exactly. So it's super steep on TikTok. It's super steep. So it's very frustrating.
Thinking of?
Yes, because when men don't want to give up their money, they murder. When they don't have any money, they still murder. Like either way, they're going to find a way to murder. I don't want to deal with that. But
sure. But I understand what you mean, where it's like, look, when you're an adult, when you're a fully formed adult, like it's even somebody who like, because this situation is not even that, right? Like yours is like this person knows who her father was.
Yes.
Had her mom, so she's talking about her mom, right? Her mom knows who her father, like she grew up her entire life. This guy's my dad. If you're not gonna have she's not gonna have a relationship with this fucking guy who's about to die in fucking Arizona or wherever the fuck. So I do see it from that where
closure.
It's like,
I mean, it's not even closure, right? Because she's not even like, it's not even someone big in her life. So, yeah, I think, has it always been that steep on TikTok? Yeah, at least from what I understand. Yeah.
What's the
King Alpha? Yeah. So that's why like I'm pushing everyone like on. I mean, I appreciate any way that anyone wants to give me money. Of course, that's like very gracious. But that Patreon, YouTube specifically though, because YouTube is being pushed so well in the algorithm right now that we're having like such big traction there that's kind of like why I'm really highlighting it like specifically. But yeah, Patreon is great, YouTube is great, but I would probably prefer YouTube for everything if I could.
Point of stirring shit up right now, because if I was in those, like if I found out a different guy was my dad, I would not give a fuck at all.
You wouldn't care.
I would not like and I don't have a great relationship. I mean, me and my father have had a rocky relationship in the past, but even he is my dad. Good or bad, that's my dad. That's the guy who raised me. That's who I think of as my father. That's who I still love. Like, and
that should be your show. That's my dad.
That's my dad.
A half-hour comedy.
Yeah.
That's my dad. Your dad is not your dad, but he's like, that is my dad.
And then it's like 3 Men and a Baby, but it's basically like a scumbag Mamma Mia. Where it's like who are these? Like, there's like a low-level drug dealer, a pawn shop owner, a diner owner. It's like those three are goodbye.
Recliner the whole movie.
We should do White Trash Mamma Mia. That's a good idea.
Will there be singing?
Yeah, maybe.
No.
And maybe blowing into a jug.
Playing the glasses.
That's cool. The theremin. The theremin. Hell yeah, dude.
I feel like if your mom gave you up for adoption, you should tell her that she was adopted too. Hey.
Oh wow.
You didn't want me. They didn't want you neither.
If you were being petty, yeah.
Sure.
That would be, yes. If you're, like, that's the thing. You don't fucking know this lady.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, if you wanted, did she say
it's
if she wants a
definitely
relationship?
Adoption's a really interesting thing. We know you really are, especially you're growing up with someone, like the bond that I have with my kids isn't, blood necessarily as it is like seeing them every day, wiping their butts, feeding them, you know what I mean? So I can definitely see how, that's just that form and that bond and that kinship that you have with your parents is, and you can, it makes total sense to me. Oh, so many good channels I have found anyway, so we can extend hours in the day. Exactly, Randall, exactly.
She said no, right, Eldest?
Yeah, she didn't really say.
She's basically saying, like, look, my biological mom, who I have no real connection to, I found out that her dad by the way, this girl sounds like a real fucking sleuth, by the way.
She is.
I respect
that.
Yeah.
She's drawing
she's legit a little detective.
Yeah.
And now she's like, she should know, right? By the time she sent this, she probably already told her
she
mom
did it.
It's not her dad.
Yeah. I just think I think because especially, like, I'm trying to think, if this happened to my mom, my biological mom, who I grew up with, it's a little different because it's like I have a real relationship with her. Mm-hmm. I just wonder, it's because it's her decision. I mean, I guess it depends, like, how old is this person and how old is the other person, right? If it's someone at the end of their life, they're pretty, I don't know that I would even tell my mom.
They're over 30, they're old.
Yeah.
They're washed.
I feel like she, set off to learn something about herself. And now she's just like, it's like going from this self-discovery thing to like she's learning like family intrigue and like drama
of a family that's not hers. By the way.
Yeah.
It's like I'm.
That'd be tough.
This has come up a couple times on the show. I'm firmly a believer that the people who raised you, the people you're around, that's your family. Yeah. Right.
At what age do you think an adoptive child should know that they are adopted, if at any age? I think that it would be good to just always say that. You just start from infant, you know what I mean? You just constantly say, and constantly kind of talk about it. And you can still say that I'm your mommy, I'm still mommy, but you were born inside another person, kind of thing. My wife is adopted. And that's the approach that she had. They just never, she was always, that was part of her story. That is the part of her, like, the story of her upbringing, how she understood who she was that's where she came from. So I think like the ability, there shouldn't be a dividing line. You know what I mean? Because then there is no abrupt like change. Because it's not something to be ashamed of. Being adopted isn't something to be hidden. It's something that happened, right? But it doesn't define who you are. It's just something that has happened,
Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut has definitely raised me.
Yeah.
Every time I went there, every Friday.
It's the only reason you know how to read.
Yeah.
Me too. Those mini pizzas, remember that shit? Yeah. I read so many books that I would never have because they promised you a mini pizza if you read a book. Remember that shit? Shout out to Pizza Hut for helping our literacy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No child left behind.
Yeah, they did a much better job than the George Bush administration. Pizza Hut absolutely taught more kids to read than George Bush's administration.
That's so funny.
Without question.
Wasn't George Bush reading a book to the kids when 9/11
Exactly.
It's the famous meme where some guy whispers in his ear and
he's like,
she didn't know that. She had known that like there was another family, but she didn't know like siblings or anything like that. That came later, but I don't want to get into my wife's like life and stuff, but yeah, that's what was told to her, and I think that's like a really cool way of knowing things, because they wanted a complete separation, which I think is fair too, right? Like they knew her name and that's all that they knew, so it was enough to like reach out later if my wife wanted to, but there wasn't like the biological mom wasn't constantly in the life, kind of like, constantly coming back. I don't think that there should be. I think that it kind of makes sense to like, once the adoption is done, that it kind of like, it's probably safer for the kid if there is like an absolute separation in that aspect. I think that makes the most sense to me.
Oh. Yeah. A second tower has hit the building is what I think they told him. I want to know what book
he was reading.
I think you can find that. I think that's public knowledge. It's a book called Trust Everything the Government Tells You. Kids, if something crazy happens and believe whatever the government says is the official explanation.
It was Goosebumps and it was a Tower of Terror.
Fuck.
He was reading a children's book titled The Pet Goat.
The Pet Goat. Yeah. Interesting.
It's definitely something fucking Bush would read to kids.
Yeah.
I wonder if the sales for the book went up after the towers went down.
That's interesting.
No, it was the same as Glitter. Like, it just bad.
Ken Wheeler, no.
Bad timing.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Glitter did get fucked. And which Jay-Z album came out that day?
Yeah, one of the Jay-Z.
It was a huge one.
Yeah.
But was it Reasonable Doubt?
But it didn't get it.
Blueprint. No. In fact, I've heard so many stories of guys in New York being like, I was really annoying. The trains were all fucked. I still had to go, and I had to go get the album. Like people were like, I was going to get it.
Tower Records.
Which one was it?
It was the Blueprint.
Yeah.
Damn,
oh wow,
it did do really well.
They were listening to it in the sky.
Yeah.
It's on the
ribbon in the sky. Ribbon in the
wow,
sky.
the Blueprint. The Blueprint.
Pizza Hut literacy statement: no child leaves without a bond.
Coming on 9/11, there's something very powerful about that. Anyway.
So you think yes, tell the mom, or don't?
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
It's.
I don't know if it's your. So, question is if it's your place as an adopted child to blow the lid on your biological mom's life. I don't know. Thank you, 5 Minute. Yeah, I gotta go to bed soon too. I got Father's Day stuff, but yeah, damn, I don't know. I would probably let it be, just because you would wreck. It's kind of selfish, because it's kind of selfish to just kind of blow up their entire life, and because it has no impact on this person, but it means everything to the bio mom and her dad. You know what I mean? I don't know. You have this information in radical transparency, you would, but I probably wouldn't.
Like, yeah, this this is not your responsibility at all.
Yeah, I don't
at
think
all.
So.
Yeah.
Maybe if these people raised you and you knew about this drama and you understood their whatever, but it's like, I just don't think. First of all, if you want to, I wouldn't blame you. If you're like, hey, we don't really know each other, I just felt like you needed to know this. I just think
it's a tough decision.
What's the upside or downside for you? What is the upside here?
Hey, save it till Thanksgiving and or Christmas. When you and your mother, your biological mom, have a big fight, throw it in her face.
But they don't know each other, right?
Get your plate to go and go.
She was just looking to find that, right, Eldest? Didn't she say she was just trying to figure it out? I mean, this is her second attempt at it, and this still was a little confusing even to me.
I think she found out, and then 23andMe was like, oops. We made a mistake.
Yeah.
That is weird.
How much are we believing the accuracy of 23?
Oh, smart. Cheaters across the world are trying to pull this right now, by the way.
I mean, so they use DNA microarray technology. They're not sequencing your genome at 23andMe. What they're doing is they're chopping your DNA into little bits, and then those little bits are binding to other pieces of DNA that are on a plate, and then each of the pieces of DNA are basically assessed then, and how and where those pieces bind to the pieces of DNA on the plate. You put it on a reader, and then you can see what the sequence of the pieces of your DNA is. So it's not the best, right? It's not the best. DNA microarray technologies are pretty good, but it's not the next generation sequencing that's happened in the last 15 years that really revolutionized genetics, right? That would be better, but they're pretty good. DNA microarrays are pretty good.
They're like, how can we even trust these
Who's
people?
the blonde lady that's in jail that was pretending she was fixing people's...
Elizabeth Holmes.
Elizabeth Holmes,
right.
yeah.
So 23andMe...
No, 23andMe actually, that bitch was like, one drop of blood, I can tell you everything about you ever. And people are like, yeah, good.
Here's
good.
$1 billion.
With no data,
exactly.
no studies. It's honestly wild, how she got away with that.
Damn, it's crazy how dumb money works in this country.
Really dumb.
We need to put our heads together.
I know.
You do.
Yeah, we're black friend. That's not going to be the same for us.
You could. I mean,
they're going to be asking all the questions.
That's a good point. Yeah, that is a good point.
They see us with this hairstyle.
Hey.
They're going to be like, oh, no.
Sid, how about we get Rosebud involved? She's got some connections to the Defense Department. You know what I mean? We make it an anti-missile thing. Rosebud's the face of your scam. You know what I mean?
Definitely has the face for it. And those bangs.
Yeah, the background for it.
Yeah. I like this. Is a great plan.
Or me and Sydney go full white chicks.
White chicks.
Let's do white chicks.
Drewski's makeup artist.
True.
Unbelievable, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So good.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Very
I like this.
frightening, but so good.
Yeah. Very uncanny.
It doesn't matter what nationality he's trying to be. He looks ugly in every single one.
Have a good
He's
one,
nailing it though.
And we got to get Drewski on the pod.
I would love to. We almost did one time a couple years ago, and just the timing didn't work.
Yeah.
But yeah, Drewski's I would love to have him on. Yeah, we got Drewski. If you're listening, and I know you're not.
You never know.
You're welcome to come on.
Never know.
Anytime.
I'm a huge fan. I mean, he really. And I love the tradition of it kind of is it's Eddie Murphy, Dave Chappelle, the white face is kind of a tradition in black. Eddie Murphy's original White Like Me sketch is so fucking funny and good. And Chappelle's almost gray newscasters fucking hilarious.
Oh,
yeah.
And Drewski's crushing it in that regard. He's doing, there's shit is so good.
It's always going to hit,
I mean, it was in Erica Kirk's inbox.
Oh, yeah.
They was like, girl, sis, have you seen this?
Yeah, that
she had to turn her phone on.
That's a tough one. Yeah. That's a tough one, man.
Well, she has Google alerts. You know that.
Yeah, probably.
She is that girl.
Probably, yeah. Somebody on her team does for sure.
No, it's specifically her. I think she wants to hear that ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
She gets off to that.
Probably,
Yo,
yes. It certainly seems that
dang.
way. It hasn't been a...
Kylo, what's up? Thank you so much for the super chat. 30% to YouTube, and maybe it helps the algorithm, or for sure. Yeah, Kylo, I mean, it helps for sure, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Subtle couple, 6 months or whatever. But anyway, yeah, Drewski, come on. You can be in whiteface. You can be in Latino face. Actually, let's keep it to whiteface.
Brown face.
You know what? Actually, a great Latino skit would be if he just got a wig and had Dominican hair. He just did he kind of did that. He did Godfrey's I Know Black character.
I put that at least once a week.
One of the most.
I Know Black.
I mean, a really gifted comedian just nails someone in 2 seconds, and that's enough. We all know those guys.
Hey,
NASCAR sketch was so good.
Yeah, it was very good.
I mean, he looked like this.
And he also had that. I also loved the first one he ever did where the white face was it was experimental. Was like the white rapper. Did you see that one? That one's fucking hilarious. And he really nails
he
those
might have done
guys.
that makeup himself.
Yeah.
He was in the working out the tweets.
That
the
looked
kinks.
more like Chappelle's like gray face makeup.
Yeah.
But it was really good. Anyway.
All right, guys. Well, dude, I love watching Stavi, so I was thinking about adding it. Hopefully Stavi's fun. I think he always brings some really cool Santana, what's up? Perspectives. I always love how he comes with the comedy. And then he's not one of those cringy right-wing Republicans that kind of like just does it to love on Trump and all that kind of stuff. You know, he actually is firmly left-wing, which I love and I appreciate. And he actually roasts all those right-wing Republicans that are just grifting, you know, for all the access to Trump and the politicians and stuff like that. But anyway, guys, I got to go to bed. My goal was 2. So thank you guys for being here. We got stuff for tomorrow. I was thinking about, I got a lot of barbecuing to do. So I was thinking about going to, I was gonna do barbecue, probably like on a TikTok live or something like that. So if you wanted to hang out on TikTok, that would be a good place. Just because I can do it on my phone and that kind of stuff. Do you discuss politics at the start of the show? King, yeah, we talk about politics all the time. So we talk about politics, science, news. We debunk conspiracies, all that kind of stuff, like constantly. Yeah, I got to work out and I got to do barbecue. That's my goal tomorrow. So workout and barbecue. So workout stream, barbecue stream, Father's Day stream. You know what it is. So yeah, but yeah, King, we do it all. Like, so, you know, it's just fun to watch something else that, thank you, Rainbow. Thank you. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers in the chat. We're reclaiming masculinity, boys. We got to take it back. We got to take it back. And yeah, I think the end of the stream is just fun for like Stavi or some type of stuff like that. Oh, thank you, Randall. Thank you for all the gifts, everyone. I really appreciate you. All the YouTube top fans, thank you so much. Kylo, Noctis, Shiloh, Jelly. Stop the stupidity with 5 gifted subs. Again, it's incredible. Thank you for being here. Can't Speak, Ivy, Randall Flag, King, Linda. Thank you guys so much. To all the gifters on TikTok, Helen, Uncle Hippie, No Amos Streams. Thank you all so much. Really appreciate you. TikTok, if you guys want to get your heart me's now, I'm about to go. So that'd be awesome. If you wanted to, that'd be amazing. And yeah, guys, if you haven't seen the 10-minute highlight video, it's hilarious. Honestly, I haven't made a video that I laughed this hard with ever before. So basically, I went on this like MAGA panel, and I had like a good 3-hour discussion with someone, but then they all started trying to roast me, and that's not going to go well. For people. I grew up on early 2000s BattleNet, ladies and gentlemen. Battle.net. Like I have fun slinging it back, and so I try not to make it personal. It's the mom jokes. We do the mom jokes here. So yeah, exactly. Brood War. So, it's just a harmless mom joke, but it's so funny when people get so offended with the mom jokes. It always makes me laugh so hard. But what video is that? It's MAGA. It's the last one that I've posted. Let's see. MAGA roast. MAGA roast. Dr. Greg Show. Oh, dude, the Spark. If you like the mom jokes, please check out the video. It's so good. It's really, really funny. So that'll be happy Pride to you, Shiloh. The MAGA call? No, Dr. Greg Show. It's on the drgregshow.com. That's where kind of like my hub is. And then, but if you just on this same YouTube, you could go there. You can watch it. Yeah, you just go. Yeah, the mom jokes really caused a lot of meltdown this time. So it was funny. I was trying to make like 1 minute shorts of it, and basically it was like a 3-hour panel, and it was 10 minutes of highlights. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm just gonna have to publish it as a highlight video, by itself. Yeah, it was 1v8. Yeah, exactly. The 1v8 video. Exactly. Yeah, 10-minute 1v8 video. They're very popular in Denmark. No way. Okay, Spark, you're gonna love the mom jokes this time. That's really good. So, but yeah, please, honestly, that would be one. Send it to your friends. Send it to everyone. It's a fun intro. I really think that science needs to fight back. Yeah, that is like my whole mantra of, science has kind of just been on this back foot this entire time. And I feel like science and scientists needs to start like punching back. And it's not fair that we kind of have to be punching bags in these areas where people can be bad faith to us. People can kind of constantly ridicule us, but then we have to be like perfectly professional, and the onus is always on us, and that is it's not fair. I don't exist here to be a punching bag for conspiracy theorists. I'm here to try to dispel these misconceptions and disinformation, and really take the fight to people like RFK that are spreading lies that hurt people. And people get threatened by that. And I'm kind of like this avatar that they are now getting to fight against for the first time. And I don't like that. You know what I mean? Don't come for me personally. So I fight back, and they always get mad at it. But it's the MAGA roast. Can you smell what the Greg is cooking? Exactly, Randall. Exactly. So, but I had so much fun on that panel, man. It was so much fun. So, and it was funny talking to the head panel person, like Sarah. She thought it was hilarious too. So, that was really nice. The modern day debate afterwards with my Ken Hovind debate video, I've kind of gotten blacklisted a little bit on that one. So I think he didn't like the fact that he had to constantly mute me. And, but honestly, he's selling holistic stuff, on screen now. So I can't really enter into that space now. And that's not really something that I'm going to use my likeness and my brand in order to sell ads for naturopathic pseudoscience BS, so there was a lot of credibility damage done due to COVID. I mean, I think a lot of that was due to the disinformation, though, not science itself. And I think that's the big thing. A lot of times I'm just kind of like dispelling misconceptions that people had. And I will answer questions and be in good faith indefinitely for 2-3 hours sometimes. Like chat will be spamming you're so patient and all that kind of stuff, So if someone's legitimately asking questions, I have no problem talking about that. And F-on, thank you so much. I think I missed it. Your super chat. Thank you for being here. Happy Father's Day. Thank you. Thank you so much. So yeah, dude, I love punching back. I was talking to my wife, and I am like, I've never had the feeling right now in this like a moment where in my life I feel like I'm made like for this. Like I am made it for this moment of actually fighting for science, fighting against this like fascist encroachment into our lives. Like I feel like I've never felt like that way before. And yeah, going on these panels, going into like places that nobody else has been as a scientist and answering questions, explaining things, but then also like fighting back if they want to. I love it. And I'm like made for this moment. So it feels so oddly satisfying to have that feeling, you know, to be like, wow, like I really feel like I am like making a difference going into these areas. And I feel like I'm good at it. I really feel like I'm good at it. And I'm doing something different than anyone else that has ever done. And I've never felt like that before. Yeah, thank you, Shadzi. Thank you. Okay, yeah, King Alpha. Yeah, we can talk about it. Yeah, we can. Yeah, you're all good. You can come up and we can have like a Discord chat about it. Yeah, we could be entering into another Roman Greek Dark Age where faith and loyalty surpass any science or simple reality. How long are we going to entail divination? I'm Wiccan, and that's just nuts. Oh, interesting. Interesting. You had a lot of practice. No, exactly, for real, Helen. Like the 1v8 panel, I am like, bro, it was so funny because the edit starts with the guy saying, well, I mean, you're kind of outnumbered. It's 1v8 against you. And I'm like, yeah, bro, this isn't fair for you guys. Like you could have 20 people right now behind you, and I would still like, there's no way that you're gonna like win this, you know. Efon, you're good at it, and it's very worthwhile. Oh, thank you, Efon. Yeah, and you know how important science is. And never in my life did I ever think that science would be under attack like this. And I feel like it's flabbergasting to me, but also empowering in a way that it's hard to explain. Like, because I feel like I have a unique perspective and a unique background for this. So I'm just like really I'm so excited that things are taking off like on YouTube finally. You know, I really can't put it into words. Like YouTube, I've loved YouTube, and I started on YouTube when it was, you know, archives of old shows, like before Google bought it. You know, that's what it was before. It was like old 80s and 90s television. And before Google took it over. And so to actually, I'd never seen myself as a streamer, you know, or I didn't feel like I had anything to say. When I put things on YouTube, I didn't have anything to say or any reason to post videos. So, but now I have a purpose, and now I have that drive, and yeah, I don't know. It feels like just like nothing's going to stop me at this point, you know? You feel like a pioneer to doing this? Yeah, Helen, I really do. I mean, in a lot of ways, I do. Thank you, F1. Thank you for the gifts. Yeah, I do. I mean, there are other science communicators out there, but people doing what I envision doing and that I want to do and what I try to do with my show, I don't think that anyone else is doing anything that I'm doing. From like the 3 camera setup to using a monitor in the background to using AI as a co-host for a little bit. That was a wacky week. That was crazy. You know what I mean? To I don't know. Yeah, there's just nobody else that's really doing what I envision, and I want it to come to fruition, you know? You feel it. Thank you, Linda, for hanging out in YouTube chat. You feel it more. You've a multitude of reasons. You're a dad, a husband, a scientist, a man with a moral code. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Linda. Thank you for. Yeah. The current times are scary. I live in New York and I'm surrounded by MAGA and conspiracy loons. Yeah. Yeah. I think like it's easy, right? Like oh, thank you, Efon. Thank you for the gifts. I think like I think that the things that really like warms me is people like you, Randall, like saying that. Also, like physicians that have reached out to me saying like you're my spirit animal, like you are saying the things that I wish I could say. You know, that like really like warms my heart, you know. And I had one say something. It was just like it's really. Let's see. Let me see if I can find. I was going to make a video just on this. I think I'm going to. Like a comment that really like it was really nice. Let's see. It was like. Let's see. Can't find it. Oh, I know it. There it is. 1 second. Dude, these mom jokes, man. You guys, I don't understand why people try to come for me. It's so funny. It's just so funny how amazing, how easy mom jokes could just be used. You know, they're so nice, so convenient. One person, this is what someone DM'd me. Hi, I just wanted to say that this page and whatever you're doing is really waking people up to the craziest shit going on in the world. And by crazy, I mean you. You're not fooling anyone with your purchased followers. Gross. You and Forrest would rock on the same show. Yeah, I think Forrest is someone that I'd heard that I've seen their show, they'd seen their content, you know, a lot, and I haven't done it. I haven't reached out, but I should. Yeah. But I love this comment was meant so much to me. It was really nice. It was, how are you not viral yet? Your videos and lives hit all the right marks. I was like, oh, that was so nice. That's a like a big takeaway, you know, for someone that you like and that you're really appreciating, you know, like just actually commenting and saying like kind words and stuff. Like it really does make a big difference. You know, you get so many like hate comments as a content creator, and I mean, it's wild. It's like Facebook is so toxic, that community, like against my stuff. I don't know why. I don't have like any pro science followers for some reason. I have every single auto mod, every single restriction that I can possibly have on Facebook comments, and it's still like thousands of hate comments. It's so funny. And so just like having like good comments, like you see, as a human, you see that one negative comment and it kind of like spirals you. And then those like positive comments help bring you out of it, you know? So, but a big takeaway for me, doing content is like positive affirmations and actually like sending those, nice comments to your favorite creators definitely do help. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, I'll have to see. I'll have to see what Forrest. My friend actually sent Forrest Valkai. Yeah. My friend actually sent me like some of his videos. But I don't know what we would collab with. I know he does lives. He does TikTok lives. It's like but it's more of like a hangout space where he'll like just hang out. So yeah. What's the worm parasite disease that from coyote waste, and how dangerous is it? Oh, I have no idea, Jordan. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry. No idea. Okay. Oh, Ephon, nice. It's the tiny tapeworm Echinocus multi-etilo colaris. That one. For sure. That's awesome. It's amazing. Okay, I gotta go to bed for sure. Thank you for hanging out, everyone. Really appreciate you. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for the happy Father's Day wishes. When choosing a PhD major, do you have to already know what you want to study in that field? No. You're gonna have a PhD rotation if you're doing it in the States, but you want to have like 3 to 5 professors in that university that you would want to do research with. So you want to have that going, because the worst thing that could happen is that you get accepted to a program at a school that you don't like any of their stuff. Then that can be really tough, because then you're like, well, what PI do you join if you don't like any of the professors? So yeah. You know what I mean? So that yeah, you want to actually read the papers, like actually read the papers, because if the professor that you are reading, if you don't even like to read that subject and you don't even think it's interesting enough to read the full paper, you got to trust yourself. You don't like that subject enough in order to actually study it. So like actually read the paper and be like, whoa, this is actually really cool, you know? And then if you keep reading about that subject somehow, even when you're not supposed to, that's a good sign. That means that you're actually interested outside of the context of, this little thing. So, all right, guys, it's a 4-hour live. I got to go to bed. Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Henri. All right, see you guys. Have a good one. Peace.